one of the top 40 records being played on every radio station in the United States is a communication to the children to take a trip, to cop out, to groove. The psychedelic jackets on the record albums have their own hidden.
This is a special question. We don't want you to smoke genetically modified ganja. We want you to smoke the real thing.
Me?
Want you to smoke the natural herb.
Sweet.
Some call it marijuana.
Sweet.
Some call it sensimilla.
Sweet.
Some call it lamb's bread.
The tea.
And some people call it...
Welcome to another edition of the Adam Dunn Show. I'm your host, Adam Dunn.
I'm Dave Charnick.
And we're live in the studio on this momentous day.
Momentous.
Yeah,
Why is it momentous?
I don't know. Because it's, yeah, you know, I'll tell you one thing is, it is obscenely nice out today.
Beautiful.
Holy fuck.
Dude. Absolutely beautiful.
I actually felt guilty for being alive. I was like, dude, this is too nice. It's fucking nice.
It's crazy.
No wind, perfect fucking
You
temperature.
should get up at sunrise and catch those.
No, we just look at your reels.
I go to bed
posted.
around that
Right.
time. That's
Yeah.
I'm just crashing.
I give you the.
But man, it was fucking nice out today, I'll have to say. So nice because now we've got in-studio guests. We've got Nicholas Barreto in from the Cannabis Connoisseur 007 himself, Bong, James Bong.
Yep.
Right? And we've got the Terp Whisperers hanging out with the Glob father. And we've got Vinny Barbarino and fucking MTI killing it. So once again, we're back, and this show today, we have Jane West coming in about 5:30. And we're going to be talking a lot of industry talk today. So if you're here in Colorado, this could be very important for you.
Well, it's not. This is not.
But this is everywhere.
Yeah.
I know.
There is going to be an opinion like this in every jurisdiction. Always someone who thinks it's not moving fast enough for them, and they need to make it all about themselves. And it's not an industry conversation anymore about how we can further the understanding of this plant. It's me and mine, and look, and I want my opinion.
Wow, Dave, going straight in.
Wow.
There, going deep.
Well, I mean, that's it is in a nutshell, but I've stayed out of it enough to just really just observe what's going on.
All I know is that this is the first time I walked into Apothecary Farms and they told me about the show.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got texts from people today saying, "I can't believe you're."
Oh, we hit a nerve, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That was it hurt. Wow. It hit a nerve on me, which then made me want to do the show because I was like, "Holy fuck, this has got to be talked about now." And then also it was kind of sad because I'm looking at I'm like, "Wait, October 3rd? That's yesterday." Like that. How are we supposed to do anything when that kind of shit happens, right? Like so.
Well, I think we both had the same epiphany at the same moment, right? That I was redundant there. When she called out Cheech and Chong, that was it. It was like game. How could you do something like that? That's like insulting your grandparents.
Now you're going deeper than we need to go at this point.
So that's what when we both said we need to do a show on this, and so we reached out to Nick.
Yeah, we're dirty.
Let's
And
go
what are you
back.
gonna do about it?
Let's go back to how this all started because this is this has been an ongoing thing. One thing about the cannabis industry, and this is about the consumption side of it all, it is a fucking clusterfuck everywhere. Even in Vegas. Vegas is a place that all they do is literally just it's hospitality.
Indulge.
It's a hospitality. But there's like colleges for hospitality there. That's all they do, and yet they can't seem to wrap their heads around how are we going to let people smoke and hang out and be relaxed and not be all weird in a weird position. But here in Colorado, we've had the longest time, and we're the farthest behind as far as I'm concerned. Like we have nothing of a working model, zero. Like even the places like the coffee joint, which we've done a show from, you can only smoke vapes there. So it's like, okay, well, you have a dispensary right next door where you can buy cannabis, but then you can't come over here and smoke it? Okay, that makes no sense. So there's all these like weird things happening, and you're like working, so you're working with the kind of the THC,
Right into the mic.
No, I'm just by myself.
Oh, you are? Okay, I wasn't sure if you were working with them at all too, but so give us a lowdown, Nick, on how you
How did this come on your radar? I mean, did you just wake up one morning? I mean, did you spot the story? Were you informed? What led you to? Because you put some info out there.
Mm-hmm. So basically, I go to every single event. People know. They're like, "Oh, Nick's here," And I just started this year doing my own event, the Stoner Cinema, and it's been pretty popular. We did a monthly since April, and it got a lot of attention. And this Stacy Davis wanted to have me do one at her place, so I was considering it. But then next thing you know, she's like telling me I'm illegal, and just like saying all this type of stuff that is just concerning. So I even had a sponsor drop out after talking. They went over to Jad's and talked with Jad's, and then like I had a top sponsor drop out.
So wait, back up for a sec. So Stacy is the proprietor of Jad's, which is
Mile
the
High Smoke.
lounge, and
You're flipping the packs. You're finessing these mans out of their pocket.
This is the only consumption spot right now that is actually like registered with the MED and doing micro sales. Or is the only one, or is there other ones?
Pretty much.
I think
yeah.
so, right?
Yeah.
And so just for people out there to understand, so in Colorado, we obviously have dispensaries, but now with the consumption lounges idea, they came up with this brilliant idea, which makes no sense in my opinion, but let's do micro sales on site, but then not allow people to bring their own cannabis. That's where it all goes wrong, because it's like telling somebody that they can go to like you can buy a bunch of beer but you got to keep buying it at each spot you go. I don't know. It's a weird thing, because it's like at the end of the day with cannabis, you don't consume all of it, right? Especially if you buy like an ounce, right? You buy an ounce, what are you gonna do? You're gonna, so these micro sales are like very expensive and not really part of the spirit of cannabis. It's sort of
makes you feel petty,
right?
Like what are you there for? Are you there to really enjoy the plant with your friends? Or are you there to line the pockets of someone who just happened to get there first, right? And they set the rules, and they can do that, right? Because they set the rules, but it didn't appear to be very friendly in the spirit of what we do when we get into a circle and share a joint, right? When we pass a pipe around, it was communal, almost, I don't want to say religious, but ceremonial, and it changed, right? Something felt different, where they tell you can't smoke what you bring, you have to buy it from us.
That alone is enough to just stop anybody who's a serious cannabis person to even consider it, because we always are packing. You know what I mean? We always have weed on us. We want to share. That's the whole point. We're into the idea of sharing. It's not like it's not even a competition to them, and they don't have to worry. I mean, obviously, you can't sell cannabis in a shop. We understand all that. That's just normal. So if that's what they're worried about, then that can be clearly written where people understand that there's no dealing in these places, obviously. But when it comes to like just being able to, see,
nobody listened to Vinny and Mark when they said mute your phones.
But it's like when and again, like we're here to share, you know.
And let's be fair too. The state did not come in and set the rules. The state just said, let's consider a consumption lounge and let's figure out what you can do. I mean, am I wrong? Did the state decide that you can't bring in your own cannabis, or did they, as a business model?
I think that's what it was. I think the rules are that, and you can't.
Well, the problem I see is that every time I've seen anything like this, it's like they've set you up to fail. It's like guaranteed set you up to fail.
Sure.
It's like, can't sell this, can't have food, like, okay, so we can't do this, but we what are we here for? Like, why are we? And the micro sales is supposed to address that, right? Like, oh, that's where you're going to make all your money. Mm-hmm. And then you turn into like, now all of a sudden that's where it gets really weird, because you're not going to make. I can guarantee you're not going to survive on micro sales. It's impossible.
I think kind of, and just because we're figuring it out as we go, we kind of got off for topic for a second. I mean, if the state decided that that's how you have to run a lounge, then you should have known that prior to getting a license, right? And if that was the case, then we probably should have worked on it beforehand. So, but now that's where we are, right? So whatever it is, that's the sort of the rules that were set up for us, right? You have a smoking lounge, and I'm feeling like this, where we went off track and we started not being able to get along at all. Like, there's no dialogue happening here with the other side of this argument. They're simply voicing their public opinion by calling people out for not following the air quote rules of legal consumption. And for me, that's the complete wrong way to go about solving the problem. It comes down to what we were talking about before the show, that if you only have one ball and a bunch of kids, and one kid leaves because he doesn't get his way and takes his ball with him, then it sucks for everybody, and it didn't have to be that way. And it sounds like that's what this situation is. So I'd love to just go back to the beginning. I don't understand what caused her to fly off the handle, and what made her call you illegal from when she had already had an agreement with you to have you come in. Why did, if you know, how did this take such a turn into left field and become such a, I'm going to throw mud all over?
Stitches and rats are not the same thing.
She just seen us having way more fun and more people showing up to other events.
So you were having other events, and you were going to have an event at her place. Nobody showed up for the event at her place?
No, I decided to cancel it because one of my top sponsors went and talked to her. Then all of a sudden, like the day before, they're like, oh my God, I love this idea. I'm ready. I'm so in. Then that night goes over to Jazz. Something happens over there, and he's like, I'm out. And then next thing you know, he's sponsoring her little thing over there.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, probably this is a classic cannabis event situation. Like, so many times we've gotten to the day of the event or the day before the event or whatever, and they go like, even the hour of the event, like as you start bringing in like rigs and shit, they're like, whoa, what's going on here? You're like, oh yeah, we're setting up the dab bar, and they're like, you can't smoke in here. And like, what are you talking about? Like, of course that's what did you not notice that was the whole thing was based on was cannabis? And they're like, oh, okay. And I mean, I've had times where it's we rented like a club situation, and that's when it's the worst, because that's when the security comes out and it's just like, get the fuck out of here, right? And you're like, oh shit, now what? And there's been plenty of events that have had to move last minute because of that. So there's nothing new to us. We're very thick-skinned in that world, but when it's your bread and butter, and that is your actual like formula of your place, there should be no surprises, right? I mean, that should be a situation where she should be clear to understand that.
She called the cops on us.
Here they come.
So the chat is saying that there's two different hospitality licenses, one with sales and one without.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and she's got the one with, and that's the one that doesn't. It already doesn't make sense, because you're creating this new tier, and especially when you start saying like, oh, no outside cannabis coming into that it's unpoliceable at that point. You know what I mean? Like if you have a really successful event with a lot of people, who is going to know when you pull out something that's your own compared to theirs?
I think we're off topic again. I mean, who cares? I mean, if the state makes the rules, then they made the rules. They have a license with or without. That's not the issue that I'm seeing here. I'm seeing here is that she felt that she was wronged somehow, and probably. I mean, Vinny will probably want to punch me for this, but we probably need to eventually have her on the show to hear her side of this. But something happened where she couldn't resolve whatever it is she was trying to resolve, and instead of working it out in the community, having a conversation. I've watched you start a conversation with two people who hated each other. They'd gotten into fistfights in the past, and I've watched you stand in the middle of them, and by the time it was over, they shook hands, and everyone was on the same page. Why couldn't we have a situation like that? Why did it have to become this mudslinging event in social media to the point where I felt so pissed off when I saw Cheech and Chong called out that I'm calling you up, inviting you on the show, and saying, let's discuss it, you know?
Yeah, she just... So I just stopped contacting her because I was like, she definitely had something to do with that, and I've lived long enough to know, like, if there's someone's going to do that to you, just don't work with them.
And so when was this first date? Like, when was the first time you guys were supposed to do an event? Was that a year ago, or?
No, we were planning for July.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it was only a few months ago.
Yep.
And then So, and you were saying before, like a lot of like there was sort of places were getting shut down before they ever happened, but nobody really knew what was going on. Give me a little background on that.
So venues were getting letters from licensing that they can't have any smoking in there. So then all of a sudden the event organizer would get a message from the venue and then basically have to find something new.
So wait, obviously this happened, right? So you can say what event was it that was going up and where?
There was the Has Geodes event that was going to be at Event Space 2435.
Okay. And so the event space got a letter from the MED saying you cannot have any
licensing, excise tax and licensing.
Aha. I see.
Which, if you own a business, is like a nightmare because those guys are fucking relentless, you know. It's almost like how they get people a lot of times where, you know, that's the one little you didn't pay the excise. I mean, I had that in Amsterdam with because I was bringing blunts over there because nobody couldn't. I was like, oh, everyone kept asking for blunts. So I was like, oh, be a smart guy. I'm gonna bring some blunts over. I had them all set up in my little vending machine. Guy came in. He's like, oh, I see you have some tobacco products in your thing. I was like, oh shit, I didn't. And that was my first indicator of like, oh, that's what excise. Oh, I get you. I almost made it.
I almost feel like we did this wrong. I feel like we should have had Stacy sitting right over there and we should have been talking this out because there's so much about what happens on her side to make her take this position that we just don't know, right? And we're left with trying to fill in the blanks. You know, it's
yeah. She said that they were putting her through the rings and hoops as well on her side. I'm seeing a comment from her.
I don't doubt that dealing with bureaucracy to work out the rules and regulations for a consumption lounge in Colorado when we've had so many opportunities to revise.
What I'm seeing is that she doesn't have the fucking cop radar we have. We all have cop radar. We're weed people, right? So we don't go to the cops and say, hey, you know, so and so, and then go, wait a minute, what do you? Oh, look at you, because we've been there. We've all been there where you're the one making the complaint, and now you're the one who's in trouble. And that's where I think she doesn't understand. Like, you don't need to go and poke the fucking bear every time and get everybody all worked up, because it's much easier to talk to people. And, like, that is the key of the whole thing, is, like, communication is the thing. And with cannabis, everybody's in their own little worlds a lot of times because you don't really, you know, we're busy. We're all busy. So her world is that spot. She goes in there and she goes in the morning, and the guys who work for her, the girls who work for her, who don't work very long, because apparently everybody seems to go in there for a short couple of weeks and then they're out because they realize this doesn't have the right cannasol, you know what I mean? There's not there. With cannabis, you have to trust the people that are in the place. When you walk in there has to be this feeling like, hey, these people are, you know, I want to hang out with these people. A, they know what good weed is. B, you know, those are the basic things. And then they know how to fucking hold space, right? And if she doesn't really understand cannabis,
we don't know that. We have no idea. All we know is that she decided that she was going to seek satisfaction through calling people out for the behavior that she wants to have happen only at her location. I mean, right, that's the crux of it when it comes down to it. She's not calling them out for behavior that she and herself didn't want to participate in, right? She wanted consumption to happen at her place, but for some reason or another. And again, I feel like a bad journalist, if I'm a journalist at all, that we didn't have her on the show. But and maybe we'll extend it.
I feel like a lot of her side was said in those letters.
Yeah, but I'd like to know what made her snap like that and just start slinging it instead of.
Look, I saw some stuff here in the chat, but I'm not sure if it's
the way I
true
look at
or
it
not,
is you go to bed at night. Every night as you go to sleep, you have that moment right before you fall asleep and you start thinking about stuff. And what she's been thinking is, holy fuck, I have got a failing business right now because it is 100% going to fail. There's no doubt about it. It's going to fail because all she's supposed to do is create an environment that feels safe for this people to consume cannabis. That's all she has to do. Right. And if you're going to attack people, you're not making it feel safe at all. So she's basically made other spaces feel unsafe, which is the opposite of what she's supposed to be doing. take care of your own things at home, which is a basic thing of life, right? Get your own things in order before you start attacking other people and doing things, because at the end of the day, it obviously is going to backfire. There's no doubt about it.
But I would have to ask the question that who created the rules and regulations?
Dumbasses, obviously. Come on, dude.
Saying that you can't bring in any cannabis of your own, and then because
people who don't understand cannabis.
I agree, but that type of thinking leads to now who enforces that, right? Nick shows up at the event. You pull out your weed. You start rolling a joint. Is it the smoking lounge? They're supposed to hire security to come over to you to tell you, wait a second, you didn't buy that here because we have you on camera and we know you didn't buy anything, so you can't be smoking anything. And it's that I go, that fucking sucks.
They do that at Red Rocks all the time.
Yeah, but again, you're not supposed, Vinny. I'm saying if you had a lounge and there was rules and regs before you bought the license to have a lounge, or maybe it was the complete opposite. Maybe they issued licensing and went, hey, everybody rush, grab licensing, and we have no rules and regs and we have no idea what we're going to do and we're going to write it after the fact. That could have happened too. My whole take on this whole thing of what really got me my juices flowing was the mudslinging thing on her side, and you seem to have your finger on such a pulse of every time she said anything, you would post something about it. So,
so I have the three different hospitality license types. There's three different ones. There's the marijuana hospitality business, which allows for consumption of marijuana by adult patrons 21 plus within a permanent licensed premise. No sale of marijuana permitted. Patrons may bring their own marijuana to consume. The next one is marijuana hospitality business with a mobile premise. Allows for consumption of marijuana by adult patrons within a mobile licensed premises. A mobile premises must be a vehicle like a shuttle or a bus, and no sale of marijuana is permitted. And then the last one is marijuana hospitality and sales business. Allows for consumption of marijuana purchased on site by adult patrons within a permanent licensed premise, and limited sales of marijuana is permitted. Patrons may not bring their own marijuana in.
See, that was stupid. Whoever made that rule just fucked it all up.
That's right what just that's made this whole situation.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
But
really,
she didn't have to go. Nobody has to get that license, right? Again, why wouldn't you do the Native Roots thing? Remember Native Roots when they opened up the gas station right next door to the dispensary, and you got a discount going both, go left or right. If you bought gas, you got a discount at the dispensary. If you bought at the dispensary, you got a discount on your gas, right? So why couldn't you just open a lounge next door to a dispensary?
That's what they did. That's the coffee joint. That's the coffee joint. And she has vape only because of the way her space is set up, because she doesn't have an outdoor area. So she can't do, because of the Indoor Clean Air Act. Now, the Indoor Clean Air Act there's a workaround on that. And everybody, it basically comes down to, if you have, if the owners of the place, say if you have four of us and we're like, hey, we want to open up a spot. Cool, we're all owners. That means we're not employees, we're owners. If there's no employees, there's no Indoor Clean Air Act, because the Indoor Clean Air Act is nothing about the patrons. It's about your employees. They don't give a fuck about the people coming into your place. They care about the people working, because what they don't want is a guy saying, I worked at this bar and I got lung cancer and I don't smoke cigarettes. So obviously it came from the bar, right? And then they would get sued. So then the Indoor Clean Air Act is supposed to protect the employees. So I've always thought, well, fuck, why wouldn't you just have either a single guy owning a little spot, like, come on in, smoke. I'm not going to sue myself. So
I think we overthunk this, Nick. Nick, I think if they would have let Nick write the rules for this, he probably would have come up with this, that they did not need to create a separate license for consumption. They simply needed to say, if you already have a license to sell cannabis and you have access to an attached facility, you want to convert half of your dispensary to consumption, go right ahead. They just can't have a common entrance, and that would be it. And they could have done it, and they would have solved everyone's problem.
Do you remember the last day and they let you smoke in the dispensaries? Were you out there then?
I don't remember the day, but
I
I
remember the
remember
day.
when you could. I mean, we were doing doctor evaluations in dispensaries.
It was awesome. That was the reason I moved to fucking Colorado. Like I came coming from Amsterdam and coming to a place where I was like, wait a minute, so you could just sit in here. I was at Greenish Green, sitting behind the counter with them, watching people come up like 2 lines at a time, people just giving dabs and $12 dabs, and it was like putting dad's credit card up. I was watching them like daddy's credit card, just leaving it up like a fucking bar and just sitting.
Want to keep a tab open?
And then and the
tab
and they would just tab a dab, and they would just basically go to the couch, sit down, recover, then stand up, get back in line, and go do another dab, and then just keep doing that. And I was like, dude, this is fucking amazing, dude. This is awesome. And then I came back.
All gone.
No, it was still there for just about it was like, oh, dude, they're going to take it out. And he was like, bring your leaf blower down. We'll blow the whole place out, which we did, of course. And it was one of those classics where it was just like, man, that really just killed the vibe right there. Because up until that point, it was like, yep, this is everything you need right here. Perfect. And it's so ridiculous.
Because it was really an Amsterdam model.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, it's a totally different thing when you can go to a place, buy weed, and then just smoke it right then and there, because that's when you want to smoke. Like, that's why you're there. Now you got to go home, or like you just got there, you got the weed in your hand. It's like, it's like never having like it's only takeaway food. We don't have a restaurant. Sorry, got really good food, but here it is. Now you give them this great food on a styrofoam thing, and they go home, and it's like half as good as it could have been. Would have been a much better experience if they could just take the bag, walk over to the side, crack open the thing. Oh my God! Now I know what I want. Go get some more. You know what I mean? So it's like better for everybody.
I'm a shitty businessman. You and I have tried so many times to get so many businesses off the ground. Okay, we know we stay in our lane. You're a great weed grower, an amazing breeder, and we found a sweet spot talking to each other for a few hours a week on the radio. But
radio, whoa.
On the podcast, whoa. But this whole
interesting
this way of solving a problem of not having dialogue and simply calling people out is really what rubs me the wrong way. Like, I don't even have to know what the issue is. That's not the way we deal with things. I was talking to Nick a few minutes before the show started. We were both late getting here, and I'm just. Totally lost my train of thought.
Oh, you had such a good idea, dude. It was so good. It was the best.
Totally lost it. What was I going to say, Mark?
I don't know.
I'm sure it's the best one.
It was pretty much world peace. We had almost solved all the problems.
No, what were we talking about before? Anyway, come on. You're the host, Adams.
Apparently. Well, let's go a little bit more into the story from Nick's side, because definitely.
Sometimes I'll start a sentence and I don't even know where it's going.
Thank you, Vinny.
Cheech and Chong was the Cheech and Chong brand. It wasn't really Cheech and Chong themselves, but the brand was the one that got the crux in your craw or whatever it is. What is it called? Who knows? Anyway,
your bee in your bonnet.
There you go. But that's only the most recent thing. Can you give us a couple other examples, just because, and some of the brands too, because there's plenty of them out there that maybe were directly affected by this.
And I just wanted to say, Jane West just got to the studio. Thank you, Jane, for. Oh shit!
No.
I'm sorry. I thought that was Jane West that came in. The lights are on. That's Mike Denver. He's here. Welcome, Mike Denver. Good to see you, buddy.
All right. So they got like 710 labs in there. Let's see. There's a lot of them.
You posted so many. I mean,
Dialed in gummies, happy fruit, caviar, short and stoned, wild, soy cubano, Tetra Lounge, Ant Life.
Wait, how are these people all having all these consumption parties and we were not invited?
I know, right?
Well, what the fuck?
Because we never show up. That's the problem.
Yeah. Okay.
When we are invited, we're like, too much work.
I guess
the Marijuana Mansion.
Right.
Real Works, Shisha Leaf Lounge, the Vape Loft. I was calling out myself, Royal Exotics.
How long till we get one?
Genetics, Indico, The Clear Concentrates, Cheech and Chong, High West.
That's crazy.
Akka.
And where were these being posted? Were these being sent to legislators or social media?
Supposedly emailed and CC'd everyone in the Med. That's what I've heard.
And the government.
And really?
Got the mayor in it.
Colorado government and
excise licensing in there.
Wow.
Everybody.
I'm
Exhausted.
sensing that.
Hey, did I sound like a cop?
Yeah, I'm sensing
but I
one of
mean-
the things where they used to wear the sash when we were, like Brady Bunch kid, when he was the
Hall monitor? She's like total hall monitor. Yeah. I'm getting hall monitor vibes right now. I'm getting some serious hall monitor vibes.
You're too young for that, maybe, to know that. But I mean, that was a real fucking thing. They didn't just do that on the Brady Bunch. They used to have a fucking kid who would wear a fucking sash.
Oh, they were the worst. Narcs.
Just
Maybe narc in training, like type thing.
I was actually one of those for like a week.
What?
Yeah.
No. Did you get forced to do it, or you thought it was going to be cool? You're like, I like to
remember
bust
I got to do
people.
it. I would just stand in the hallway and watch the kids go through it.
There's only one reason to do that.
I mean, that's the whole thing. The only reason you do that is so you'd be the cool guy. It'd be like, you know what? Let it come on through. Just make sure.
You got good weed?
You got
It
some
only
for
lasted
me.
a week. They kicked me out.
Really?
Of course.
Because you weren't doing a good enough job, obviously.
You got caught getting high with the other kids, huh?
Shit.
Yeah.
Where's that? Where you grew up?
Oh, that was in Florida. I lived there for about 8 years.
Gotcha.
But that was like elementary school.
Which part of Florida?
West Palm Beach.
Okay, that's all right. Florida's there's a big difference in where you are,
Mm-hmm.
And then where else did you grow up? If it was only
Massachusetts.
Oh, so you're a masshole too on
Yeah.
top of everything. So New England's I grew up in Rhode Island, so it's kind of similar too. With that was my high school years, so definitely. It's like the ball busting, you grow up in that area. It's sort of like it was funny too. When I was growing up, I didn't realize how prevalent weed was because I was like hiding everything all the time, and everybody was so like it felt like nobody liked weed, even though everybody did. You know what I mean? And once it all changed, now you realize when you see like pretty much across the board.
I just want to say, it's so funny. I was just going to text a buddy because he wrote, as soon as he saw what was going on, he and his wife were both writing to me saying, whoa, this is going to be. And I'm like, you know what? I wonder if I should text him right now to find out if there's a nuance to this that maybe he has. Looking at the text for the first time, let's see what he says.
Collect call from a correctional facility. Will you accept the charges?
Chat was like, have you ever heard of a corking fee? You can actually bring your own bottle of wine to restaurants and pay a small fee for them to open it. How would you feel about that?
That's a good deal.
Love it.
That's a great
because
deal.
that way
That's
someone,
a great deal.
You know what I mean? You give someone a couple bucks and
just give me a wristband that says I have weed. It says, hey, this is my wristband. I'll pay $10 for a wristband. That means I can smoke my own weed. Sure.
They do that.
Yeah, that way you're supporting the venue. You're doing something like that.
Makes sense.
Right, yeah.
That makes sense.
Uh-huh.
Not that I know anything about
I
it.
remember what I was going to say now.
Oh, wait.
I remember.
Don't interrupt him, Vinny. Whatever
If you were going to open a restaurant, I was going to bring Vinny into this. If you were going to open a restaurant, you learn early on about margins and how you really make your money. And if you are just any, Bob's restaurant, and you looked at their books, they make their money off of soda and beer. That's it. They barely break even on the food, on everything else. And the only way they make
Coffee
a
and
profit
soda.
is if you buy a beverage. That is
Insider
it.
secrets.
So you just solved it right then and there. The corking fee was how they got past all of the bureaucracy of having a liquor sales license.
At a stripper club.
Right? And it allowed them.
Well, it's like they have the spots where they have the lockers too, right? Like in Utah and shit, you go in, you got they don't have. Well, we don't got lockers though.
Also at the strip club.
That's where
Vinny, you know a lot about strip clubs.
Yeah, I lived in Vegas. You watched it happen.
Okay.
Well, there you go. We solved. Did we do it?
We just solved it. We just solved it.
We did it. Oh, thank
Good
God.
job, guys.
All right,
So-
back to
so-
normal.
on the back.
I'm
Take it
not
down.
gonna. What he wanted me to talk about was he wanted me to actually say that the person that we've been mentioning, it's actually a duo of
Right.
people who own it, and we haven't mentioned the other person, but I don't know anything. I'm not going to mention their name, but the business in general, if you are having trouble, if you are having trouble succeeding, there has to be a better way to find a path to success than calling out your competition who happen to have found a loophole or a road in to have fun.
Right?
You
Yeah,
know?
I was gonna say that.
That's really all we're talking about.
Foster
here.
community and
Yeah.
small business and good vibes.
And it's a shame we couldn't get along.
Oh man.
Well, it's I think remember last year when we were doing the when we were doing the Evo, Rare Evo. Then we had an offer at that time. Like, it was like, oh yeah, and then I just was like, no, I don't see that working because remember it was like somebody was like, oh, you should bring him over to Jed's, and was like, I tried to feel it out, and I was just kind of like, oh, and it wasn't going to work because of it was also because of the distance that we had to go, but there was just something about it too where I had a weird feeling. It was like something's not right.
I want to just say that in their defense, in this industry's defense, we are fledgling, trying to figure this out. There are going to be mistakes made, right? The mistakes made in licensing, offering that third license, called the douche license, where you can't let people consume their own grass. The alcoholics license, whatever it is. And why couldn't we solve this together? Why do we have to sling mud? Why do we have to call the authorities? Why do we have to let people who know nothing about our industry, who don't remember what it was like, that at a point in time in my life, it was fucking dangerous to buy grass, And I get teased for calling it grass, right? It was dangerous. I was in some scary fucking places. I'm not proud of that. It was a long fucking time ago. I'm so glad we don't have that anymore. But we didn't need to go the direction of actually narking all of our brethren.
Someone said she was narketing instead of marketing, and she would have done a lot better.
Word.
I like that. That's a good
marketing.
That's a good word. I mean, it's like what I said about Capulator when I had a conversation with him. I said, Cap, you're in the wrong industry. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I do great in breeding, selling seeds. I'm like, yeah, but you're a marketing fucking genius. You got people to stand in line in the fucking winter in Denver outside a fucking dumpy venue to buy your seeds and probably do, mid to the seventh figure, halfway there, in an afternoon. In an afternoon, I said, you're in the wrong fucking industry. You should be doing marketing for one of these big fucking companies where you do that every day, every single day and more so. And that's the thing. We have to figure out a way within the industry to work together, to further it together, right? Instead of failing in your business and seeking resolution somehow. Sell your business then. Somebody would have bought the license. But when you start calling out Cheech and Chong,
oh shit,
I got it back. I feel so fucking honored that we've gotten to speak to Tommy.
Guy drinking a Budweiser on a tire swing.
What, 5 times on the show? We've spoken to Tommy Chong 5 times on the show. We've spoken to Cheech and Chong together twice for probably over 10 hours collectively, altogether. The highest honor I could ever have as a stoner. Why couldn't we resolve this?
I got to smoke a pound joint with him, 420.
A pound joint?
Yep, I rolled it up.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw the video. Is that what you had, the gold? When we were doing the gold?
Yeah, that was actually New Year's.
New Year's, okay. Was that the same one or something different?
Different one.
Gotcha. What's funny is when I saw the video, I was like, see, we're like brothers. We're like brothers from another mother on that. Because like back in Amsterdam, I would always, with Snoop, he'd come into town, and every time it get bigger and bigger. First it was an ounce joint, and the last one was like a 108-gram joint. It was like about sort of same. It was huge, and funny enough, at the time I brought it for that one, like we were late getting to the gig. It was in Rotterdam, and I had to go from Amsterdam, and we got there late, and they were all waiting on me to get there, right? Because it was like that's what Snoop was just waiting for. Where's Adam? Where's the joint? But the problem was I fucked up, and it was my birthday. And
wait, hold on. How many times do you think that has been said out loud?
What?
Where's Adam with the joint?
I don't know. But anyway, it was my birthday, right? And a friend of mine, he worked with this midget, right? That was like, hey, sorry,
whoa,
little guy,
whoa,
small
whoa.
dude, whatever.
Mike Denver's in the house, man.
I know.
Come on.
Anyway,
Really,
he worked with them right in England, and he goes, "Oh, dude, you got to go over my friend's birthday, show up, right? And this kid just shows up at my party or my birthday, and I'm like, what the fuck? And he goes, oh yeah, I was sent here for like a gift. Like, it was just weird. It was like, and he's just like, I'm here to hang out with you for the day. And I'm like, okay, this is awesome, right? So I called the Snoop's management. I go, dude, I'm coming up there. It's gonna be awesome. I got a huge joint. I got this little guy. What are we gonna call him? What's it officially called? What's the official word? Can't say midget.
A friend.
No, it doesn't tell you how big they are.
A person of shorter stature.
But the problem was
little people.
A little person.
Little person. Anyway, so I got him so high because every time, like, I had these ounce joints for my birthday, right? And I kept handing it to him, and everybody started taking pictures and going like, "Do it again, do it again, do it again." So he was like, he had like a bobblehead going on, right? At a certain point, I dropped him off at the hotel. I go, I'll be back at 7 o'clock.
What year is this?
2003 or 4 maybe. And so I'm like, I'll be back at 7 o'clock to pick you up. I get back, he's fucking toast, right? He's like, I can't make it. So when I get there, in Snoop's mind, I'm gonna roll out there. This little person's gonna come out with a giant joint. It's gonna be the best thing ever, right? Bump, bump, bump. I get there, they're like, where is he? I go, dude, I got him.
Fried him.
I got him too high. And they go, well, I go, here's the joint, bring it out. They go, no. They all got scared. Like, Snoop's going to be mad, dude. He's expecting this.
He wants a little person here now.
He was so pumped. He told everybody. So all of a sudden, I'm going out there all scruffed out, super beard. And I'm like a lumberjack coming out on his face, like, what? He's looking at me like, what the fuck? And I'm like, sorry, dude, I got the joint though, right? And he's like all mad, and it was funny because it was the weirdest experience because he's like, all right, let's do this, right? So I like light up the joint, and I'm lighting it, and he's mad dogging me the whole time because he's pissed. He's like, fucking you. I could just read his mind. Like, you said you had a fucking little person in a job. So he's hitting on it so hard, and the joint's going. And I'm like, oh, I hope this thing, and I'm just like, I'm having that moment, and then everything just fades away. Like, it's like weird. It's like no noise. The crowd, I couldn't hear anything. I just like, bump, 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 heartbeat. You know what I mean? Like, don't fall apart, joint. Don't fuck up. Because it's like, you know how when they get big like that. I saw yours too. I was like, oh, he got the little bit of the action going on.
Yeah, I passed one to Rick Ross, and he literally like had it like. He was waving around, but before I passed it to him, I made sure that thing was fucking.
Oh, I know. People don't know what they're doing, and they fuck it all up on you. That's always the case.
It would have been crazy though if he dumped the whole pound on the stage.
But it was like, and then it's like it's funny when he stopped taking the hit, it all kind of came back like the sound. I was like, oh, I'm back again. It was like but it was weird. It was like that thing where you're just like. It's me and Snoop, me and Snoop, me and Snoop. Heartbeat, like, please don't fuck up. Please don't fuck up. Hope he doesn't. Hope he's right. And then I hand the joint back to the crew, and then the crew just literally tears that joint apart and just starts rolling like mad blunts out of it. It was so funny. It was like, I was like, oh, they didn't.
Your joint got cannibalized.
Oh no, they were like
bluntalized.
I was like, here you go, guys, you can finish it off. They're like, fuck that, break the tip off. Broke it open on the thing, and everybody just like starts rolling joints out of it. It was fucking funny. But anyway, so yeah, it was like when I saw that, I was like, okay, how much does that one weigh?
The pound.
You said it was a pound. That one,
yeah.
The one that was in the gold was a pound too, or they were.
That one was like 2, the gold one.
That was 2 pounds.
Yeah.
What kind of paper do you use for that?
I use the shine papers for that one, and raw paper.
I use the newspaper.
Blazy Susan.
But not least.
Do you get them on the rolls usually and do like that, or?
I actually have like a raw roll. It's like
you get the big roll, yeah,
like an infinity roll. They got like a lifetime roll. It's like this big. I got like the infinity roll.
And how wide is it?
The king size wide.
Are you coming to Vegas?
I don't know.
Well, no, but it's not. It has to be.
I'd say it's big. Go pull it up. Pull it up on your thing.
Yeah.
What are we pulling up?
Go. It's on your site or it's on your page.
I mean,
IG.
Okay, I'll.
I don't want to make this about me, but I'm thinking that I gave you the idea for a joint like this in 1990 at Homegrown Fantasy when I rolled that fat one. That what was the guy's name who owned the place?
Hank.
Hank, when he just saw me with the little sign on the table that said "Kick for a fatty for Jack,"
yeah,
and started dumping weed on it.
There you go.
Well, it was this long. I mean, it was probably as fat as this coffee mug, you know. It was huge. I mean, it was probably half a dozen papers.
What are we looking at here?
Clicked together.
I don't know what we're looking at. Is
Tiny
this the right
thumbnail.
thing?
You were
Well,
right there.
this is
I
the
saw
music
it. There it
video.
is.
That the other one was I got in a music video with Chris Webby.
Oh, I see. Well, this is.
There it is.
Holy shit.
It's a doinker.
Yeah. That's in front of the
That's
Capitol.
impressive.
That's
Jane
another
West
reason
says
that-
she's on her way.
This is another reason that Jad started getting at me. She started telling the DEA and stuff like, this guy's got pound joints and shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he's trying to get me. I'm like, what?
It's funny as I had a similar thing where we were gonna roll the world's biggest joint at the time, because there was a time period where it was not even that big of a deal. Like somebody had rolled like I don't know, it was some dumb number. It was like 90. It was like a 90 grams or something. I was like, oh, we can beat that, no problem, right? So what we were gonna do is have we were gonna roll a 500 gram joint, which is like basically a pound, right? So but the idea was to get technically we were say 100 people would put 5 grams in each. That way we were like kind of getting around the system a little bit, because the whole thing in Amsterdam was a 5 gram limit purchase per person, right? So how'd you get 100 gram joints? So we're like, or a 500 gram joint, we got 100 people to put their 5 grams in. Anyway, so we were about to do it, and we had a Dutch kid working for us at the time, and he was like super green, didn't understand nothing, and he went to Reuters and said, we're gonna roll the world's biggest joint at this party. And Reuters, cops fucking get Reuters. Everybody gets Reuters. So the cops are like, whoa, wait a minute, world's biggest joint? Where's this going to be at? Oh,
We're there. So there.
They,
How do I get
they
an
called
invite?
us, same deal. They called us up. They called the Dutch kid, actually. And we're like, if you do that, we're going to be there. You know what I mean? And it was like, really? You fucking dumbass? I couldn't believe it. So I was like, all right, we're canceled. And we moved it to a different venue and just did it anyway, and then later, but there was no internet back then, or there was internet, well, I guess, but there was no like social media or anything. This is like pre-social media time, so we just did it, and then after the fact we're like, yeah, whatever. But it was like we were supposed to do it at the Milk Veg, and we had it all planned, and it was like over planned, obviously. But that was sort of the learning curve for us back in the day too. Was just like, you know what, you just don't ever say it beforehand. Like, you just do it, because the minute you say you're going to do it, you fucked it up already.
You're right.
Which is odd.
This got sent to me.
Doink,
You can
doink.
read it.
Doink, 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 doink.
I just wish, from the show point of view, I kind of wish like could do this over. I wish 3 days ago when I reached out to you, I could have reached out to you and to them and found a way to have you both sitting here discussing this, because there just has to be a way for us to resolve this. Like, what if we could have had them come in here and we could have talked this through and realized that it was all a complete misunderstanding and they actually
Yeah, Globby just
sorry,
left.
Yeah, I mistook the comment.
This lady next to
and I
me,
thought
she's
she was
out.
gonna
She's
be
out.
there.
Yeah. So I wonder if there is a way to resolve this, because I don't think their complaint is really with the people who were holding these events. It's with the legislation that was set up around these events and not finding a way to license them properly. Right? I mean, it just license them. Let's figure it out. We don't have to shut the whole industry down for that.
Yeah, they had the permits, and then they just did away with them.
The day permit things, or
Yeah, like consumption permits,
Mhm.
designated areas. They had stuff, and they just brought the hospitality through.
I mean, but
and
they've put
did
like the
away.
Tetra through hell, and all these places have had a tough time. Just
Come on, Adam. This goes back to the Cannabis Cup
but it's the
from
same.
2013.
It's the same deal. It's like, just do it.
Not to worry, I have a permit.
And they told everybody at the 2013 Cannabis Cup that if they were a licensed cannabis,
Yeah.
and there was any cannabis at their booth, they would lose their license.
And then
so
everybody
all
from California, and
yeah.
then Cali just came in and just crushed that year. Like,
Yeah.
people were like, "Dude, I sold 100 pounds," and you're like, "You sold 100 pounds at a fucking," and like, ugh, like this is, and they didn't give a shit. They're like, "Oh, you're from Cali? Okay, you're cool." Like, I was like, "What?" Like, that was just shocking.
But it kind of feels like that's what's going to happen with this situation, right? Their side of it is going to put so much shade on this whole consumption situation that it's all going to go back underground. You know, it's just going to go back underground. There's not going to be any of the sort of that namaste, you know, that friendly, wholesome, let's get together and share a joint, let's smoke a bowl, you know. And for me, it was all about being at a Dead show, Mike Denver. And wow. It was that camaraderie that was with everyone. They had an opportunity to have that. For what better or for worse, it didn't go that way. Why couldn't we figure out a way to get there together? I don't know. Like somebody, a friend who's been on the show just sent us a note, and you know what? It's like it. I don't feel the need to throw more names into the fire that they want called out.
They own a couple more licenses too, and might have a dispensary.
I'm a capitalist, okay? I feel like the most power we have is not how we vote, but how we spend our money. That's really what it is. And next is how we
Or
vote.
we don't.
Okay, right. Or you don't.
More the don't than the do. Because when you don't spend
I like money.
When you don't spend it is when they don't when they feel it the most.
And I think that's how this industry and this story is going to play out. It's going to come down to it. They're going to go down a road with somebody like you who's not going to lay down in the mud. You're going to have dialogue, and if they have other businesses, I could see the community just saying, listen, we needed to come together back in the day. You didn't come together right now. I'm going to choose to patronize a different business.
It's like that guy in Cali, the cop that has that spot. Everybody's just like, dude, but that guy's a cop. Like, who wants
so
to,
nobody goes
who
to
wants
it?
to buy weed from a cop? Nobody. I don't. You might. You might. We know. Oh, we know stories. We heard stories. Just hold it over the top of the thing, kid.
I bought it from my guy in 1987 or 1988 when his buddy was a police officer and would sit in the passenger seat, and they would go around so that he wouldn't get robbed. He never touched anything. He never said anything. He just sat there.
Shit.
You know?
That's a good deal.
How long ago is that? That's 1987.
That's when I graduated high school.
So is that 33 years ago?
I was in first grade.
36 years ago?
That's cute. I done gone graduated then.
That's 100 cannabis years. Okay?
Yeah, at least.
Give me a fucking break. That was a world ago. Fuck that. Everyone would have loved something like that. You know you weren't getting arrested, right? And you were buying real weed. Come on. 1987. Give me a fucking break. Mike Denver wasn't even born, right?
No.
Fucking.
You guys are the same age too?
Oh.
I've literally been smoking for 40 years. 40 years, Dave.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like maybe, in a few weeks we'll have you back, and
well, hopefully,
the other parties will be sitting here, and we'll all kumbaya and figure it out. And if at the very least they just stopped fucking sending these letters, wouldn't that be amazing?
Come on, dude. You don't understand that?
Well, after just glancing at their IG page and looking at oh my God, the fact that I couldn't look at that if I had a business, you know what I mean? If that's what people, you already see it. It's like I don't see anything but people coming on hard because they, it's definitely, like I said, it touched a nerve on everybody because it hits too close to home when you start fucking with people shit like that, especially when it's like supposed.
Just having get-togethers and having
it
fun,
is,
man. Like,
again, and with cannabis events, it's always been like the people that frequent those are not the same people that go and hang in bars. It's not the same people that go like they might go out to a certain concert once in a while, but it's a lot of times it's kind of like cannabis attracts socially awkward people because of the fact that we're always been on the outside. Like, not most of the people who are into cannabis are not mainstream. Like, oh, this is the greatest, latest thing. It's like, no, think outside the. Hopefully, think a little outside the box. Think a little left of right, or however you might think, but definitely not down the center.
How the uncool would do it.
Well, yeah, and at the same time, but a lot of them, and a lot of growers are fucking notoriously awkward because they can't be social because the whole point is like half their life has been lying to everybody they've ever met, telling them that they do something else or not being able to tell what they do. And so all of a sudden they get together.
Houston, we have a problem.
My grandma grew that.
And you get together and you're in an open environment and you're like, dude, I can finally tell people. I got to experience that in Amsterdam all the time where people would come over and they have never told anybody what they're telling me because they can't, because they live in a small town. Everybody knows everything. So all of a sudden they're telling me too much to the
You're
point
a canna therapist.
where I'm just like, you don't need to tell me exactly where your grow room is and exactly what the code to the room. Oh, the code's Wi-Fi. Like they wanted to tell me everything just because they never got to tell it to anybody, and they trusted me to be able to, not
remember.
Well, the funny part is that now it's like a lot of those people, especially the real passionate ones, are the same people that came back to they opened up the first dispensaries or they opened up the first extraction labs, and it's because of those trips to Amsterdam back in the day where they got to fucking finally be a normal person and relax a little bit. And that's all these events are, just like little microcosms of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so imagine all the people, great. So you fucked over all these people that were like, that's the one event they would go to because that's their kind of like, that's their only thing they do. It's almost, that is like their therapy, you know what I mean? So thanks a lot, man. You just killed our therapy, bro.
Well, I remember this is when you were talking about like when the last time you could smoke in a dispensary. So we're going back more than 10 years.
It's 2010, I think it was, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2010.
It just felt right. It
River Rock.
felt right.
Beginning of 2011.
And then, we just overthunk it as a
MIG. Remember MIG? Remember that? Fucking those bastards.
I don't remember.
As soon as Jane West gets here, she has some
They
ideas.
were bad. That was when it all went bad.
As soon as Jane West gets here, what?
She's talking in the chat, but she's on her way here. But
she's ready. She's ready to tear.
She's ready. She's like ready to go. She has some good ideas.
Only eat clams.
Of course she does.
That's all I do.
All right, so here we can say this. So here's what everyone is going to need to do right now. You should probably go to Jane West or Shop Jane West on Instagram. Be familiar with her page. You're going to need to go to her page and post something, and she's going to give away what she described as a limited edition, very expensive, very high-class bong. And she called me today and said, we're going to do the giveaway on your show, and I literally puckered. I'm like, you understand, we don't do...
We do bad on those.
We
We're
don't
terrible.
we don't do giveaway well at all. She goes, where does it go wrong?
We don't give good giveaway.
I said right from the beginning.
Unless you handle all the
If you
stuff on
can't
your
smoke
end,
it and you can't eat it, how are you getting it in your body?
I said, here's what you can do. If you can handle the entire contest, picking the winner, setting up the rules, right, not in that order, and then shipping it to the winner, then we're your guys.
Yeah. Everything
okay?
else, we can do everything else.
We can do everything else involved.
Yeah.
And she said she would. So we started out, at first, she came up with an idea.
Okay, look at this. I just looked this up.
Yeah.
And isn't it funny that MIG, which was the Marijuana Industry Group, started in 2010? It's like... the motherfuckers. Those guys were they literally were like the beginning of the like, oh no, it's people who really just don't want to like fuck
They're still
this
around.
Exactly, and they're
MIG's still around.
Yeah.
It's like the NCIA. I never thought they were going to go anywhere either.
Pretty sure they're going to the meetings and stuff.
The National Cannabis Industry
your girl's
Association.
in there. Your girl's there.
Who's that?
Isn't that
I
your
don't
girl?
know.
Oh, yeah, that's not her. I thought that was that chick. This is. I don't know any of these people. Do you?
No.
It looks bad.
They look like lawyers. They're
looks-
all in suits and ties.
If you look up,
That's that Rothschild money.
Marijuana Industry Group, look it up. Looks bad. Looks bad. But anyway, no, I have a feeling that was kind of the beginning of the end, in my opinion. It felt
So-
like, I'm sure when Jane gets here, she's gonna fill us.
When you say marijuana industry,
When you say the word
group,
marijuana, you've already lost me at that point. I'm like,
I felt weird saying it so many times when I was reading the licenses. Like, it's all over the.
when you say marijuana industry group, don't you want to hear No Child Left Behind? And you go, oh, they're so altruistic. Marijuana industry group. oh, no child left behind, oh, and then you realize that they're probably really fucked organizations that are just serve one purpose, their own purpose. And I get it. I see how they did that. They wanted to create the financial vehicle of the number 3 license that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Micro sales.
You ever take a Dab X before?
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Like,
here's a terpies. Terp wipes.
Terpies. You got terpies, bro?
The terpies. Oh, that was funny. No, terp wipes.
To
Dab
prevent,
X,
to prevent terpies.
yeah, correct. Put up the Dab X thing. Well, let's give them a shout out. Since
what, you
this
want
is,
to give him a shout out?
well, this is Nick's first time he's doing a
Oh,
dab.
it's your first time doing a dab.
Dab X.
Yeah,
On the
All right.
Dab X.
So I'm going to start
The aptly named Dab X.
twice. Starts
Go.
it. Okay. This is the carb.
Okay.
It's going to vibrate. It's going to start to flash. When it vibrates again, it's ready. You sip it. When you're done taking the dab, turn it off, and then carb. One,
Just
two.
to make it more complicated.
What? That's it. That's all you need.
I don't
So-
tell him to turn it off. I'd turn
Yeah,
it off.
who gives a
No,
fuck?
actually, that's
handed.
they are now getting that word out. They want you to know that you
No.
need to turn it off. when
Chris,
you're-
Chris comes in the
Yeah.
room
I
and
just
slaps
don't-
your hand right
They
as
usually
you're
just
doing
hand
the
it
dab.
back to me, and that's when I turn it off.
Yeah, you're like, whatever. Whatever.
It's
bro.
just one less instruction to give.
Smoking that Whoopi Goldberg
Anyways,
South Egyptian.
it's still one of the
Fucker,
easiest-
Deluxe Mega Million Scratcher Skunk Bubba Good.
It's still one of the easiest e-rigs to use, and the biggest compliment I get on it is the carb.
Oh, it's all
Because
Right?
yeah, man,
the carb's what does it.
the glass on all those other pieces get really really bad really
That was
quickly.
good.
You like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That hit pretty good.
And the thing about it is it heats up in 15 seconds. If you wanted to, you can just bang it, hold it down, and then hit it once again. What you tried?
Sesh mode.
Oh, sesh mode is the way to go. It's the only way.
You like
only
sesh
way.
mode?
Only way.
It's the only way you go. I feel like I
Tasty.
get a better dab the other way.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. Yeah, I don't know.
Although I did take
No,
out
what
my
you
reclaim.
do, this is what you do, is you do sesh mode,
Okay.
but you treat it like sesh mode. You go sesh mode, get it going,
Uh-huh.
sesh mode again, take a hit. That's how I do it. That's what I'm doing. I don't even inhale it until I'm done, until I'm double sesh moded it out. That's 30 seconds. You can do that.
For the first time ever, I saved the reclaim disc, like on the side. It looks so good.
What?
I
Yeah.
have the it has the little Dab X embossing in it and everything. And, I had to keep it.
Yeah, we can show him that because he doesn't know what you're talking about. You're just talking gibberish. Okay,
yeah,
so in
yeah.
the bottom, it collects it all. It collects it all like that.
Because that's how it sets you apart
So
from
you
the
don't
rest.
have to. So you don't have to like scrape out your bullshit.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So everything is separated. Like the resin will drip down, the smoke goes up, or the vapor or whatever goes up, and so you don't ever have that mix where normally it's all going through one channel.
Yep.
We're sitting together,
And it's all, and then you open it up and you're like, mother.
Right,
And
yeah.
like, and then atomizers on these things are like rock solid. You don't need to order one every fucking 3 months or whatever like you do with the other ones.
How long you had that one?
I'm still been using mine.
About a year now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been using my first one.
So I mean that alone is huge because there's the whole thing with all of these is every single e-rig out there is it's all good until it's no good. You know what I mean? And the minute it's not working, you're like this. It's like when your car breaks down and you're just like, dude, what the fuck? It was great when it was rolling, but now that it's not rolling, it's kind of sucks. It's kind of a big piece of shit. And these things when they're not working and you're all sad and you're like, no, it's like your whole
And in true Adam Dunn show style,
What's that?
The box that arrives with the new tool.
Oh, next week.
Tomorrow.
Oh, right.
Everybody, including you, can own these things.
It's okay.
Yeah,
We're excited. We're excited. Next week will be DabX. We'll get Chris and everybody on the show.
Oh, sure.
We'll do the.
Actually, we probably won't be able to get Chris in. Congratulations, he's running the Athens Marathon.
Oh, damn.
In Greece. Like in
It's
really.
kind of the
in
original
Greece.
one, isn't it? Not the OG.
I'm pretty sure that was
Isn't
the
that-
first one.
Isn't that the OG marathon?
There's
right
one
there?
in Georgia.
No, that is not the OG. I think that is the.
You think he's going to Georgia to run the marathon? No, it's winter there. They wouldn't be doing that.
No, he said something. I think it sounded pretty intense.
And he said he was leaving a week early so that he can acclimate to
Acclimate to Georgia. Yeah. No.
Right.
Cool. Well, congrats, Chris. Hopefully, I'm actually kind of disappointed in him though. He's not going to be running with the DabX. I mean, come on. You should be doing the whole marathon with the Dab-X, and you should be just huffing the whole way. That's what I would be doing.
Yeah, it's grease, man. I don't think
You
so.
can get
Pete
away with it.
Papadopoulos could tell you. I don't think that you could do that.
They would be so like they wouldn't even know what you were doing. You'd just be like this sports drink, Gatorade.
It's a
You just put a little Gatorade logo on
it's
the
a
outside.
humidifier. It aerates my lungs.
What's the done deal on the Dab-X? Is it
20%?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, someone was just asking if there was a.
Of course, there's a discount.
So, just so you know, and this I worked out with them. There is not there. Did I say that right? There's no better deal, discount code
than the Dunn deal.
Than the Dunn deal, with the exception of once a year when they do their 420, when they make it 35% off. So if you happen to want to wait every year to April, you can save an extra, whatever it is, 12% on top of it, or you can just Dunn deal 20% off.
I don't know why you threw 12 out there. It's 15.
No,
Once again, I just
whatever. No, because it was like 33 or 32% or something like that.
Now
so,
it's a totally different thing.
Yeah. So anyway, I love
Definitely
these
the
guys.
best. Definitely the best one on the block at this point in time. So
nicest guys you'll ever meet, salt of the earth. So go to dabx.com, enter Dunn deal, you get 20% off. It is the holiday season coming up, right? We just had Halloween, so we skipped right past Thanksgiving, and that means it'll be Christmas in every fucking store. It'll be Christmas on TV. There'll be Christmas music
Has anybody
everywhere.
heard Mariah Carey yet?
Yep.
Because that's when it's over. That's the moment you know it's over. Like you're like, oh my god, it's on. It's on.
What do you mean? What is she saying?
Can you pass the cheam creams?
Yeah.
Pass me the cheam
I haven't
creams.
heard it yet. Not yet.
No.
No.
I'm telling you,
It's
that's
coming.
like the you
Yeah,
get
as
the
soon as you-
shiver up your spine.
Did you ever notice that Vinny has two amazing skills with his drops? He can put a drop out there that everybody gets and one that 3 people get. And
Everyone
to
gets
him,
cheam
they're
creams.
just...
What is that from, anyways?
I have no idea.
It's the best. It's the best.
He had another one out today. That's good.
Yeah.
It's the guy that reads all the weird signs and stuff. Bad. Anyway,
so what's next for Nick, man? I know you're not not going to let this keep you down. What are you what's the next event? I guess don't say it.
No, don't say it. Don't say
Don't
it.
say anything.
Well, we can get a mobile bus. If you get the mobile bus,
What's the
then-
deal? Now, what was the deal with that? That I heard something about them talking about restricting the time, or telling them they could only sit at a certain amount of time at a spot to try to fuck people over for having buses parked outside of their venues. Is that the case, or is
Yeah, they're trying to get you to like go around the block and stuff and sit somewhere else, use a bunch of gas, pollute the earth.
It doesn't make any sense. It's
Make
again like,
traffic.
okay, so we have a safe, we're put the quotations on the word safe place to park the thing and be fine and away from everybody and you're good. But instead, you're going to put them into traffic with a bunch of people that have to leave the place that they're at
This is
to
a
go
Lewis-
around the corner because they're supposed to be at. It doesn't make any that
yes.
What?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what we're going to make you
no,
do.
but it's the same as when you go to the airport and you're like it's 2 a.m. and you're going to
The
pick your
white
friend.
zone
You're going
is
to pick
for
your,
immediate
You're going to
loading.
pick your friend up. I always tell everybody to go to Departure and I'll pick you up there because in Departure nobody is even thinking about telling you to go anywhere. You can just park out there, have a picnic. You're like, whatever, they're like, cool. But if you go down to that other spot, you're
Why
like,
are you giving that away right now, man?
what are you talking about?
It's a total secret. That's I've been
inside.
doing that for years.
Secret.
Don't tell people.
That's called common sense, dude. I don't know if that's a secret.
No, it is a secret because people go to arrivals and they get move along, sir. Move along.
Yeah, they do. And then people like me are up top going like, whatever, we're hanging out.
And now you're telling them where to go.
Oh my God, Dave, it's going to be a mad rush. Everyone's going to be there. Oh, the airport's, that's it. You can't even go there anymore.
Nope. Can't go.
That's
Airport's
it.
closed.
Forget about it.
Airport's totally closed.
Forget about it. No, in general, though,
Back to our point at hand, though, right? Isn't there a way we could have had them in? You could have worked your Adam Dunn magic and gotten them all talking.
You didn't even want me to say the name, so I was like, now you want me to invite them. So no.
But now, as I realize, as we're talking this through, there was so much about what was going on over there. That
I don't know. Sometimes you.
So they just crossed the abyss. There's no coming back. They've really gone so far that there's no coming back.
In my
into the
opinion,
light.
100%. Yeah, 100%. Yes, for sure. No, there's definitely the problem is if you pick your fights with everybody, you're not going to win. You know what I mean? You can only, like, by the sheer audacity of hitting every single thing at once and trying to think you're going to, like, somehow grab the attention of somebody, and they're going to go, oh yeah, you're right, let's do that. Let's waste a whole bunch of money, time, and energy to go do this. And actually, but thanks for putting them on the radar, which is totally lame. You know, so that alone is already, like, you know, in my opinion, not come back.
Oh, we'll get it off. We have somebody here that's got hard evidence. Hard evidence. Breaking news. TMZ. Show it to Telly. He's our TMZ reporter. If he agrees that it's okay, or Globby, then we'll get them on. The guy wears his sunglasses in here, man. It's freaking me out. Maybe I'm just too much of a puss, man, that I think everyone can get along.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah, I think you're kind of a
We
puss.
all agree. We all agree.
I do. But maybe there's a time and a place for it, because we've not gone off the deep end yet, right? There's still so much work that needs to be done. Why couldn't we just modify this licensure and remove that third one, which is such a problem, and allow people to have... I don't know.
Now, I would love to sit down with somebody who could actually make those decisions, or bring those decisions to somebody. I wouldn't want to necessarily want to filter anything through her, but at the same time, it's like, that would be interesting, is to sit down with somebody who actually might understand that what they've put together is not really workable for that particular license. The other licenses can totally work. It makes sense, you know what I mean? And they can modify the other one to make more. All they have to do is take out that 1 point of bringing in your own. That's already changes the vibe 100%, because that to me is what just makes it not workable.
And then, right? So the whole entire flip side is, we just had a conversation with guys in Michigan, right? Minnesota, and somebody just sent me a photo
M-State.
of all of these cannabis beverages being sold at a liquor store.
Oh, I know. But they're hemp derived.
I don't fucking care. Does it really matter right now? You know, I mean, they've crossed the threshold, and we're sitting here going back in time, wanting to legislate morality again.
Yeah, which never works.
You can't even bring in your own piece either.
That's again, yeah. See, there you go. I mean, well, that's, you know, so you're basically, like, restricting people's also ability to consume the way they want to consume. So great. Yeah. Well, it's, like, again, we said it's not a winning formula. That's for sure. With a non-winning formula.
But I felt like why
do
we
do that at Round Rocks too? They make everybody share their cups.
Where?
Red Rocks. Just saying.
Show your cups?
No, just share. I mean, if you can't bring your own rig into somewhere, what do they expect everybody to just share something that's there?
It's fraught with problems.
That's why
because they're
YoTips would
creating.
come in handy. Shout out to YoTips.
Shout out to YoTips. But it's why couldn't we just follow New York's model, which is, we don't need to create an entire licensing division or bureaucracy to regulate it. We've already decided when and where you can smoke tobacco. So wherever you can do that, you can use cannabis, and it solved all their problems. I mean, not all of their
except in New York, it's really hard to find a place to smoke cigarettes
that's
these days,
I've
because they're
heard
like,
too.
it's like, can't be within 25 feet of a door, and the doors are 18 feet apart. So you're like, now we're fucked. Where are we gonna go?
No, you can crossing the street.
You got to go all the way down there and over to there, and then
you constantly
see all,
cross.
see all the sad-looking people over there. That's where it's at. The sad, see the posture. Fucking which be a third-class citizen over here.
Through.
That's where you can smoke.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, we haven't been
better
Some
than
of these
here.
misspelled labels, please. Pot 6. Fresh.
Vinny loves this guy.
He loves it.
Vinny.
Fun, though, to see a not so fresh one if you want.
It's weird.
So let's talk about YoTips here for a second.
We just did like 5 hours.
No,
of
let's
it.
really talk.
12 hours.
Let's give them their shout out.
Let's find out who the vice president of marketing is.
Oh, who's the vice president
Let's
of marketing?
find out who
Business
that is.
development.
Oh,
Business development.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I
so
love
this is
this
on
company.
business. This is on their time. Wait, are we on?
What,
their
are we
time?
doing this? We're doing this?
Yeah, do YoTips.
All right, we're doing this.
So Nick started using it, didn't need instruction.
My
didn't
God, he's
need
a genius.
anything.
My God,
you
this
know?
guy's
You don't need to
Bonafide
train
genius.
someone. You just need to put it in front of them. It's self-explanatory. It just makes it a more enjoyable smoking experience and does add a layer of protection as we're all about to head to all these conferences, right? Vegas is coming up, then there's Barcelona, then Germany. Mark's going to all of those. He doesn't want to get sick, right? He wants to enjoy himself. So he has a tube of YoTips on him at all times.
Oh, yeah.
He gives a tip to everybody in his circle. He keeps one for himself. He passes the joint, right? Keeps the tip. Everybody stays safe.
Wow.
They're going to have to start buying some YoTips, though.
You can go to Yo Products LLC on Instagram, or you can go to YoTip.com.
Do you have your own code?
What?
Do you have your own code now?
No. What
Come
code?
on. You need a... You
Code
need
what?
His code is Done Deal, bro.
Vice
Done
President.
deal.
Yeah.
Vice President.
He's a team player.
No, it's Done Deal is the
You're not
discount
trying to pull
code.
a
No.
Vindicator move on us?
Absolutely not.
All right.
Absolutely
I'm
not.
just checking.
Done deal.
22% with
Well, if I
Dave's to
did-
be Vice President code.
Dave's code would be a point less then.
Oh,
You know.
that sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah, right. So no need to change it. So you just go to YoTip.com. You can place an order if you want, but you know what we'd rather you do is get us in touch with the dispensary you're shopping at. We'll send them a sample pack, and we'll get them sold there. So YoTip.com.
So one of the things is one of the reasons why you're also known, I'm sure, around is that you're not just using cannabis because you think it's fun. You actually have gone through some serious health conditions and stuff. Can you talk? Because I saw you said like you had till July on one of these things, and I was like, damn, that means he's like really fucking living on borrowed time at this point. Huh?
They told me I had 2 weeks.
That's some crazy shit. Can you tell me a little bit about what that?
That was 13 days ago?
No, that was last year.
Right. No. When did you? When did this all sort of come?
If you want to talk about this.
Well, I just ended up waking up in the hospital, and they just told me that I had stage 4 cancer.
How does that? I mean, that's crazy. And this happened a couple of years ago, or
last year,
in July.
Yeah.
So they just told you, that's nuts. And so
no symptoms.
And they're like
no
2 weeks.
When does that's to me it's insane.
Yeah. I even went. I was like, I got.
How did you end up in the? How did you end up in the hospital in the first place? What was the?
A seizure.
You had a seizure.
Yeah.
In public or was it at home?
At home.
And somebody was there.
Yep.
You ever have seizures before?
No.
See, I've never had one either. And that's to me one of the most violent, crazy things to see. Like if you see it happen, you're just like, oh,
yeah.
Like your whole, you don't like, and somebody knew what to do and everything, or did?
Yeah. So a friend was there, helped me, called the ambulance, and then they got me to the hospital. I can't really remember, but they were like trying to talk to me, and I just didn't know who anyone was or anything.
And it came on like obviously instantly because it's not like you had no other really prior symptoms.
I thought I seen something in my like vision as I was like coming up the stairs that morning, and it was like this blue like square. It was, I don't know.
Huh. Oof. So what was it?
Obviously, they were wrong when they said 2 weeks
Thank
if
God.
it was a year ago. So
Yeah.
right on, man.
But what was
Big
the
ups.
so what? I mean, and then is it like a brain issue or because it?
It was like in my kidneys, lungs, and then testicles.
Really?
Testicle. And in my lymph node.
So because it sounds like lymph related because it's everywhere, right? But and then it just and have you been just?
I think once it passes stage 1 is like it's localized, and then stage 2 is like lymph.
Mm.
And then once it passes, I can't really remember. But
No, I mean it's.
And you've beaten it? You got the all clear? Or?
No, I'm actually working on it. Holistically. I'm pretty baked right now. Holistically. There we go.
Gotcha. I was like, not hospice. Don't say hospice. He's like, I'm working on it. Hospice. What? No, okay, holistically. So, I mean,
Well, now I don't like this person we were talking about earlier even more.
But that's what I'm talking about. It's like
going
if
after you.
anybody understands.
I don't know. I'm like, I go through stage 4 cancer. I can't smoke the biggest joint I want.
Right? I mean, you should be able to smoke any joint you want.
2 of them at the same time, a double down.
For real.
Ooh, can you do that? 2 pounds.
They had a chemo port in my chest,
Really?
and like, I just felt like it was the backup plan. Like, and I was like, told them to get it out, and they're like, no, and I was like, yeah, because I just wanted to like run around and do some push-ups and just like beat this, you know.
Good for you.
I mean, chemo is definitely a fucking. It's like a. To me, it's a bad way to do it. It's like it doesn't make sense. It's like ruin everything to possibly come back from that. You're like, no, it's better to stay on the other side and
So I didn't eat any sugar for
good move.
28 days and completely shrunk the tumor in my lymph node.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that people don't realize is that that's what.
Oh, they realize it. They just can't give it up.
Right.
I'm on day 62.
Good for you.
That's awesome. I mean, it's heavy shit.
61. Sorry, I'm jumping the gun.
Ladies and gentlemen, entering the studio, and if we had a drum roll.
We have one. We have drum roll.
During a time we're talking to Nick about him beating cancer and totally crushing a 2-week sentence 50 weeks ago. Jane West, everybody. Hi.
Microphones, please. Jane West.
Welcome.
Turn her up. Crank her up a notch. I don't know. I don't hear anything.
Hi, how are you
there
doing?
we go.
Oh, there she
guys.
goes. Welcome.
Thanks for having
To our
me.
illustrious. You see our.
I know.
Wait, how did we
These
just
are-
segue
you're all
out of
new.
talking to him about a very important topic into?
I know. I didn't want to.
I squeaked it in there because I wanted to make sure I understood what was going on. But now I'm really like, fucking hats off on.
Yeah, really.
dealing
Now
with
I'm
this
really
kind
fucking pissed. Now I want to go back in time and call the names out of both of those fuckers because I remember making brownies for cancer patients. Fuck. 25 years ago, 30 years ago, and it just realizing that I was so lucky, I was the person getting to make the brownies for them, that I didn't have to eat them for that. And to hear that this is somebody in our community went to the point of not actually calling out other business owners for whatever they were doing, but calling out somebody going through what you're going through is almost unforgivable.
Oh, now I'm up to speed. Do we know the name of this? I was listening on the ride in of the story of how the industry is cannibalizing each other and not doing the right thing.
We know everything.
Not the first time, Jane. You've been around it a long time. You remember
But-
what was going on early on in the industries and how everybody
yeah.
said that they were for cannabis, but they weren't for cannabis. They were for whatever niche business they were running, and they wanted to write the rules and regs strictly for their business and their business only, and everybody else, fuck you.
Yep. Well, that's how all those trade groups, the ones you were mentioning earlier, sprung up. Was, oh, hey, the 6 of us think this.
Oh, I
The 12 of us think
knew.
that.
Once I thought about it, I was like, oh yeah, Mig, they sucked. I remember them. They really sucked, and that kind of like sucked the soul out of the industry. And as far as I'm concerned, like, by the name alone, with the word marijuana, anything is just like, oh, you killed it.
What is this? Holy smokes!
A lot of things.
Cherry punch. Woof.
Hey, so he says he's going to come by with some more flavors.
Sweet. I invited him in every time. So look, a rare dankness right here. House of dankness.
Oh, look at you. Look at you. Slut. You freaking slut.
Thank you.
Oh,
sorry.
No, he's got to sell it.
I know.
He's got to sell it.
So yeah, we were touching base on the fact that I don't know if you guys probably didn't hear the last part, which was crazy, is that he actually woke up in a hospital and was told he had 2 weeks to live. Stage 4 cancer.
No, that is the part I missed that I realized. I was like, wait, something changed.
Something changed. Yeah, no, everything kind of, so that was, I already knew if you walked in at that moment, you probably missed out on that part of the discussion, but that was 51 weeks ago, you said?
50.
Sure.
Wow.
So thank God they're wrong on that side.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's some intense shit.
Well, the group of people definitely currently being ignored by the cannabis sector are patients in every state.
Right.
So
I mean, and that is the crazy part is like
the people that started it all.
Yeah, the medical side gets shit on everywhere.
Cut in almost instantly.
Yeah, Washington State started that trend.
Now they're just jumping straight to rec.
And you can't just glaze over it. Washington did something that was just fucking horrible.
They started the whole
commercialized cannabis on the backs of medical patients. They set up an entire taxable system where they changed it all. In Washington, couldn't smell anything, right? It was packaged brands. They really took it 5 years where it might be. And then they crushed medical.
Yeah.
They the following year, within a year.
The
killed
exact
it.
same thing is what is my understanding occurred in Michigan and Maine, where there were very robust caregiver systems in place with people totally set up. There's no reason they couldn't keep their businesses. And the exact same thing happened. They couldn't apply for licensing. They weren't part of this new world order.
Somebody listening to the show just sent us the person we were talking about all their contact information. So I will reach out and we will see how it will go. I will be the good journalist. And,
good.
I will allow them the opportunity to comment. Why not? What do you think of that YoTip? This is your first time using a YoTip, right?
It's great.
You need some Jane West YoTips. Right?
Maybe, yeah.
They have to be black, customized with little gold, silver trim on it. Yeah, I know.
Just embossed would be fine, because I am like trying to use less of things, and to make stuff black, you have to use a lot of ink. Yeah, it's great. This is great.
Just need to order 100,000. No problem.
Yep.
No problem.
No problem.
Sure. For
90,000 for you.
We got you.
Yeah, we'll take care of you.
Thank you very much. There you go.
So Nick, is there? I mean, because the floor is yours, man. I mean, is there something that you want to get across to everyone? Is there? Did we miss anything? Would you want to come back and possibly, if we actually could get a dialogue between them to try to kumbaya?
Definitely, that's what we do.
Yeah.
We try to figure it out, as a community.
I love that. You're welcome to stay with us for the rest of the show. But Adam and I realize sometimes we keep people on for hours and hours, and then the show ends, and they go, "Oh, how do you guys do that? Oh my God!"
You walk out of a casino, it's dark. You're like, "What's?"
Like, you didn't have to stay the whole time.
So you're welcome to stay. Nobody's going to take that seat but you for the night. But Jane West.
Hi.
So Jane, you have been one of the first mover in this space. So going back, I think.
Well, with the events, that's what I was driving in and listening to what you guys were talking about, because the symphony events were the first, and it was hopeful that it would be above board at the time.
Oh, I remember. No, you definitely took it at that point in time to a place it hadn't been yet. So it was awesome.
It was hopeful. We were hopeful.
Was that
2014.
14. Okay.
Yeah. So.
We'll give you the decade.
Okay,
we'll call it a decade. I mean, in a month it would be 2024.
No, it's true. It's a decade. Yeah. So, but the idea that, I mean, at that point in time, Washington and Colorado were the only ones that had anything on the books, and people thought that the feds were going to come bust us all down, and we were in this crazy experiment. And the idea that there's massive publicly traded companies selling cannabis around the globe, and there's still not a place that anyone can go consume it. I mean, if someone told me that a decade ago, I'd be like, there's no fucking way. Where are people? How does that work? How does that work for everyone? Aren't we going to go somewhere and use, social use must be a thing. There must be social use licenses. There must be, someone will do it.
Well, the crazy thing too is even without the shops, people already have weed in their pockets regardless. So the social should be almost first. I mean, that's almost the way you should run into it. You should start there.
It's so basic. It's so elementary. Okay, everyone has this, and now they have to use it. So let's make it a few basic rules around it. Like in New York, where I love visiting now.
Is it really though?
It really is.
No, but I mean, is that the way when they were talking about social use? We say it should be the first thing because that's what we do.
Just laying out declaring the rules.
Well,
okay,
how do
you
they
can smoke this where you
that?
smoke a cig. Well, I understand.
And they won't do anything if you can't convince the legislators how they're going to monetize it. They will not do anything. They are driven by increasing their tax coffers. That is their only goal. So in social consumption, how do you do that?
Yeah, it's a tough one because it's one of those deals where if you were, I mean, what it should be, I think, is existing businesses that already have something going on that can add it to their mix, which makes more sense because then they're not trying to start from scratch. You know, it's like, oh, we're a pizza parlor, but we have a backyard garden, so we're going to let people smoke in the garden in the back. Cool.
Exactly.
Now it's a cool pizza fucking spot where everybody wants to go, and actually, compared to like, oh, we're going to go to the club where we have to check in and sign things, and this gets kind of like, it gets weird. You know, memberships are
people do that for strip clubs all the time. You sign your life. You sign your life away. Well, I mean, people will do.
What are you talking about, Jane?
I'm just saying
Tell
that
us some
people
more, tell us some
will,
more,
when
Jane.
you are looking into like private member clubs or
private member strip club?
Well, it's private. No, private
Swingers
member.
club?
Anything. No, the point is that when you look at other business models, that people are willing to go above and beyond, complete membership forms.
Wait,
and
above and beyond at a private member swinging strip club?
no, yeah. Well, you know, with bongs.
With
bongs, that would be great, right?
Exactly. Bongs.
You have to bongs.
Oh, got it.
Yes. So you bring your own and you sign it in, and then
you bring your
then
own.
there's a menu they bring you, and on the menu you tell them how you'd like it. So you can either get like 10 bowls or 3 joints, and they'll like take in the back and serve your cannabis back to you in these formats that are allowed in the space. And that's how they're going to charge you through the roof for that. But we already pay like $500 for a bottle of vodka.
So it's just a service-oriented thing, basically.
So,
well, it's just like developing a model that shows people how we could do this.
how you want it served. So if I want it served Vegas Dixie style.
Sure, everyone
will
will come up with their own way. See, this is the thing. You just have to give them the opportunity to use like their marketing sense. And honestly, like all of the stoners I know come up with the best ideas for all this stuff. They just need the opportunity and the space to do it.
I'm a big believer in not reinventing the wheel. I felt like when I went to Amsterdam in 1990 for the first time, they had it down.
Coffee shops. It's so simple.
They figured out the model.
The funny part is it's beyond simple. Like many coffee shops that I know, friends have, they have a toasty machine, a little toasty thing, and they have a small fridge with some Luza, with just a couple different flavors. Just look at this Belgian
beverage,
liquids, basically. Yeah.
It's orange juice, fresh, right? They do fresh orange juice. That's like, whoa, fresh orange juice. And the guy just sits there. That's like their big deal. And that's it. And then buy a fucking menu with weed. That's it. Nothing else. There's no frills. Space cake is literally one flavor.
Space cake.
It's just space cake. There's no, you can't.
What flavor is it? It's yes.
You can have just that one thing. They don't want, like, it's against the rules to even attempt to try to make it better.
Right.
Like if you go, but I have this. They're like, no, against the rules.
No.
Against the rules. That's their
rules.
It's
like soup
not
Nazi.
possible.
Yeah.
It's not
You're
possible.
only allowed to have looks like cornbread, but it's basically just really boring yellow cake.
It's a distillate.
It's something that you just like chew for like 4 minutes and then think you've been there for 20 hours.
The idea is to not make it tasty. Cannot be tasty. No tasty. No good. Because if it's tasty, you might eat too much.
That kills me. That voice I want. It's like as soon as you do that voice, I want to call Danko up and go, we need the Dutch guy. Just to have Danko do it. Yes, very no, it's not possible. Yeah. It's not possible. But I just think we know how to smoke. We don't need that legislated. And they, to your point, what you were saying is, I said that earlier. Why didn't they just allow dispensaries to carve off a spot where they could allow consumption?
Or simply like, alcohol companies don't own the bars that we go to. So instead, just coming up with a system where like you have your dedicated people that you're purchasing that this product's coming from, and you have that system. And then, because the people that run dispensaries and the people that grow amazing flower aren't also the people that should be running.
It's classic.
And so like give all these this is where the opportunity in cannabis still lies. Like it's still a horizon of like actually being able to have establishments and spas and private clubs.
Yeah, I feel like the bad model that we're talking about is sort of like it's like how they started with the whole vertical integrated idea. Like, okay, like, you know what? Actually, that guy grows good weed, but he's a terrible guy to have as a front man. You don't want to ever talk to that guy. Just let him do what he's doing. And that guy can't grow to save his life. So why would you ever force either of them or to force them to work together? Because then you create these terrible terrible partnerships. Like that was where, in the beginning, probably the worst partnerships ever because of the fact that they were like shotgun wedding deals. Where
the
they
guy
were
with the
just like,
money, the numbers guy, and the grower.
And then it was like, boom, and I never saw any
And the
of-
guy that owns the place, usually.
The only ones that ever worked were the ones that decided like to let the grower be part owner. That was it. If they didn't have any ownership, there was like a failure because they kept running through master growers, right? Master grower number 12. I went to places that had a room dedicated just to like nutrients that the last guy used. Like it was like, oh, that's, I'd be like, wow, dude, you have a mountain of shit here, like Botanicare and Canna, and it was like everybody had their own program. So like the new master grower would come in and go like, oh, that guy, I don't use any of that crap. I need all this. And he'd order another $5,000 worth of nutrients, and he'd get fired a month later. And then they'd be like, well, nobody wants those. And they shove them in the corner. So there'd be like $20,000 or $30,000 worth of nutrients that never got used because the dumbasses couldn't figure out how to use the other guy's formula. You know, it's just like, that's how ridiculous it was.
When I was with Calyx Development, I must have walked into 40 grows in Denver of all, that were getting turned. And every time the new
I can picture
the person who was going to come in to say maybe I'd buy this property, if we didn't, was like, oh, there's lights here already. This is great. And I would go, you don't understand. Growers right now have never done this scale before. This is the first generation of them. No one can just walk in and do it his way. No one can come into Adam's grow room and take it over and manage it and make it run. They do it their way.
Yeah.
So what you see as a credit to this deal, I see as I have to pay somebody $50 a fixture to pull it out, then $20 a fixture to get it recycled somewhere, because gone are the days you could put free and they would just come grab it, on the streets back in like 2012. You put everything outside, it was
so
gone.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Garage sale.
Can't do that anymore.
Well, it's funny you bring up the master growers, which it's not even a term people really use anymore in the actual sector. And I remember when I first learned, because I thought Colorado was the first, and then as I expanded across the country, I was like, oh wait, Michigan's been doing this pretty legit for a long time, and you learn these other things, and I remember at the time thinking, oh well, that'll be such a job category, master grower, because I assumed that all of these states would have robust medical markets where you sign on your patient load and your job is to make them amazing flower and represent their plant count, and you just it seemed like I can picture it perfectly in my head, the establishment, the gardens, and they're growing everything. And yet the fact that that's not feasible, even when people would absolutely pay just directly a master grower for their product.
Well, the whole caregivers thing got blown out of the water too. That was that was kind of the first victim of this whole.
Again, they couldn't monetize it.
Well,
they couldn't make the caregiver spend money
big
on a
guys
camera
convinced
system.
the government
when I
they
first got
needed
here,
to be.
People had binders. My friend had in the back of his car, he had 3 binders just full, and Russians were selling names, and it was so crazy at that point in time. I was just do you remember all that?
There was a point in time I had a girlfriend, and she got a medical license, and then there was a place in Aurora, which is not licensed for anything, but it was a Russian spot where you could go in, and they just had it she said that they had it all out just in these wooden bins. You could you just walk in there, it's just open air, and you're just grabbing whatever, and they would weigh it out for you, and then you'd leave. But it was super sketch,
open air. I like that. I like that up here. Oh, it's we have an open air. You just pick.
But it was in an office building. It was weird. It was just a lot in an office building. It was crazy.
Well, the office building part is crazy, but my growers in New York, because the way New York's getting so crazy, the only option right now is for people to drive to their farm and buy it on the weekends. That's literally what's happening there, which is a little bit
no good distribution problem.
Yeah, definitely a problem. But it is getting people into Hudson Valley and showing them that it's a plant that grows.
Shout out to the Hudson Valley, yes, of course.
Know a few people there. Yeah. When you say where grown weed, so you have a Jane West brand in New York?
I find growers in different states, and then I pitch them. I'm what do you guys making?
What are you doing?
I make some other cool shit too. You can
Tell
give it
us about-
away at
tell
your
us a-
dispensaries while you're selling flower. Well, here's the thing. All my flower, I'm trying to make it simple for people and not fancy and not
Come on. Of
complicated.
course it's going to be fancy.
No, everyone thinks that, but it's not. It's about being accessible. So like all of our flower in every state comes in day and night. And that way like there's no translation of like what this is or what this isn't. And I pick with my grower what is day and night. So we're trusting that like there's elements of sativa and indica, which are words I try not to use, that are of that flower. So we're explaining to people, what the best stuff is that we're growing. And I've found too, and I'm hoping this stays true, that like if I'm hand selecting stuff because of like terpene profiles and what the grower really likes this season, that hopefully it'll help people overlook THC percentages, which are why everyone's buying certain things but they don't have another thing to go off of, so they can't be blamed for doing that. And
so are you still putting the strains behind it so people can get, because I mean,
yes, totally,
okay,
definitely. It's
all
always
right.
on a secondary sticker.
Yeah, cool. All right,
In
good.
the
'Cause I mean, that's the only problem.
and-
I'd be like, if it was just like day and night, you're like, all right.
No, definitely. I get that.
Day strain, bro.
Yeah.
It's the day. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's cool as long as you. That's good because that actually educates people slightly. I mean,
Slightly. It's easier. What I try to do is put the terpene percentages whenever possible.
The only other problem is that because everybody's, all of a sudden you're like, dude, I smoked your night and I just was like amped up, and then I smoked your day.
Well, then you're
Dude,
learning.
I was tired
okay.
as fuck. And you're
So,
like, all right.
You just brought up such a good point.
Jane's a night owl.
Yes. Okay. So you just brought up such a good point, though, because like we're trying to help people, and what you said is so true. Some people, indicas do this and sativas do that, but if they learn that is the way their body then they know. We're just trying to help them find what they like.
No, that's what I was going to say, is that it's good because then they can be like, all right, actually,
Yeah.
it's more that terpene-driven part of the high than it is the THC or the CBD or any of the other cannabinoids, just because that's also where we're, that's the learning curve of this whole plan. We had Max Montrose on like 2 weeks ago, and does
he have a new wheel? I need a new wheel.
No, he didn't have a new wheel, but he's working for a company now called what is it called? Come on.
Terptown?
No. Don't even go. Don't even go there.
Ag something.
Come on down to Terptown.
Mark, help us out, Mark.
Come on, Mark. You're supposed
It's with
to be
an
like,
A.
I thought you were
Eccentric or something. No, is there a game on tonight, Mark?
Oh shit, there is actually. Thanks for reminding me.
Anyway, he's working for a company which is focusing on terpenes and also, but then finding all sorts of other not cannabinoids, but other compounds.
Yes, so that's my new thing too. Yeah.
Feels and
I like to be able to tell people.
Now you remember
Max's?
Yeah, what's it called?
New thing?
Yeah, there you
I
go.
don't know.
You watch the show once in a
We're
while.
trying to tell people day, night, and then the second thing is the most prevalent terpene in it. And then ideally, if I had full testing nationwide, I would then also include a minor cannabinoid. Just those three pieces of information: day, terpene, cannabinoid, and then people can start actually,
Abstracts. Is that it?
That's it.
How many X's on that one?
Just one X.
That-
Abs.
Three.
ABSTRAX.
Abstracts.
Okay.
Abstracts Tech or Lab or something like that. Abstracts Lab, I think it was called.
Yeah.
Lab.
Man.
They had some pretty cool stuff, though. Definitely, they seemed to be on the forefront of
that's what it is.
taking terp, because they were deep into the whole terp thing, and then they realized, like, come on, there's got to be more than that.
Yeah.
Which there is. So that's cool, and that's
Yeah.
how many states you doing that in?
Oh my gosh, at least 10. But that's because like a lot of my
Say that again.
At least 10. But it just at least
12.
Do the math. I should know. I should be sitting here rattling it off like la, 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 but
Okay, but you're
the ones that we launched this year, South Dakota, 605 Cannabis, they're amazing. The South Dakota law is actually awesome, but the governor sucks, and she keeps. It's like literally stopping the will of the people. There's less than 1 million people in South Dakota, and they all have agreed on this. And it's still very hard for them, but they're doing really well. And my New York partners, Empire Farms, they also run a foundation on the farm called Farm On, and like people
Empire?
come learn how to garden there.
Same
All
Empire as downtown.
No.
Okay.
Empire 1830 is the name of the farm as it's known in the Hudson Valley, but the group is really like Farm On and the Farm On Foundation. Yeah.
And, all right. So those are the latest, or latest?
Those are the latest. Also, Michigan ProGrow. They're awesome. It's like old school people that were there in the sector from the very beginning. Like, they also are being very picky with the shelves they're on, which I'd like to see, because there's a lot of shelves in Michigan. And also Missouri, Illinois. Illinois is an interesting one because it's kind of showing you how like
corrupt everything is.
I was gonna just say that's probably
I can't even read posts about it anymore because I want to like tell people, and anyways, I try not to.
Oh, it is horribly corrupt. It is like what I went through in New Jersey in 2009 when we placed second for a license, and they gave licenses to numbers 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and that's how they handed out 5 licenses, and we're like, what?
So, if you don't know this detail about Illinois, like that first group of med people that like decided exactly what was going to happen, who are also in charge of most of the states, they were giving away 18 licenses. This is how I remember it, if my numbers are a bit off, but like 3 of them won 2 of them. Like that's how much it was like tipped, and there were like hundreds of applicants. Right. So then they had to kind of like play that off, but no, they're the same people that are in charge now. So it's fascinating
Somehow
to see each state do it.
Less,
it's
though,
so fascinating.
If it was run not
it's like
corrupt,
the 5 families
like,
of Florida.
Yeah. Well, it was like the original Florida one.
At least that guy. At least some of the people are getting.
Well, the very
there
first rules there were ridiculous. It was like you had to have a agricultural business for over 35 years.
Oh yes, no, there were like 48 people in the whole state that qualified.
I don't think it was even that much.
No.
It was like 5 people.
Well, they were all white.
Of course, and it was like really.
Excuse me, that is true. That's like that is what happened.
No, 100%.
The only people that were eligible.
For sure, and it was.
Yeah, well, come on, you're opening up a can of worms if we want to discuss the social equity.
Don't even say that word.
They're designed to fail so that other white guys who are rich can come buy up those licenses years down the road after they've navigated.
Just saying this on a call this week, which was like, just open a med. Like, that's what Colorado did. Like, they opened a building. It was called the Med. About 12 people worked there. And they gave them, and this is like the way I remember it, but like they basically gave them all the hardest licenses to get in Colorado. Like a meat processing plant plus a liquor store plus something else, like everything you'd have to submit, and you have to submit all that stuff, and you have to get it all, and then you get a license, and people left with a piece of paper. They didn't have to go get inspection, like, and then 6 months later they came and they were like, hey, are you doing that thing you said you were doing? Oh no, okay, well, taking that back. Like there's accessibility, and that's exactly what it should be like, and you like instantly have a bunch of government jobs because they're running the Med. And if you've been to the Med, we've all been there. It's like an office building.
In Lakewood one, yeah.
Yeah, I went to the one up north, but yeah.
Well, how about the one at the beginning when we were going to get our things at the fucking racetrack? That was the weirdest. Like, that was the weirdest. Like, you're like, so we're at an abandoned I'm at an abandoned racetrack picking up my first worker's badge.
I'm sure it had something to do with casino laws and like.
It was the weirdest. It was the weirdest. Everybody who walked in and walked out was like, did that just happen, dude? I think it did. I think it felt very...
It's probably how casino...
It felt very corrupt at that point in time. You're like, at the racetrack? At the... What? Like,
it's probably a place casino employees had to go because they had to submit more than other people do. And they're just like, well... Let's do the weed people too.
You're talking about a gambling regulated industry.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They know how to work these things, right? They know how to push papers to get people their little badgy licenses. Yeah. That's why when you look at the badges they wear, they don't look any different than any other badge people wear.
No, yeah.
Anything else they do in the state.
It's got a barcode.
You know, it's the same thing. I will go back.
It's that simple. We showed everyone how simple it is.
Yeah, I'll go back to what I said at the beginning when Nick got on. It's forums like these where we can discuss these things and work them out that they should be handled, and then we present a unified industry opinion on how it should be done.
I'm sure they'll listen.
Everyone is represented, not the 2 businesses who paid their lobbyists so that only licenses they get 3 times.
So that also goes back to kind of how Colorado made it work. And I do think it has something to do with our population because we only had so many people at the Capitol that you kind of figured out who everybody was, right? But like it took consensus to get those. What you described is how they got it to happen in Colorado. A bunch of different people with really strong opinions coming together and actually writing Amendment 64. And they're like, okay, this is the thing. And now there's just too many people that they can get what they want without giving you any consensus. And so why would they?
Because we just haven't found a way for them to make more money off of our plan.
Exactly. So
That's the only way you can speak to these people, is to show them that our plan is not only more efficient, but makes them more money in the long run.
Well, they're already on top of it, and as far as I can tell, but like a lot of the bigger players that have exited the industry and have like capital to spend, they seem to be looking to make like these real estate plays. And I think it's just because it's going to be tied into things where like before we even get the law written, it's like you should have had that property in that zone. Oh, gee, I have a lot of that.
That's where I totally see people who are like absolutely hanging out in the wind, where they're like, so you don't own that building? It's like, no, and you got all that shit
the leasing
in there?
and
Are you fucking
insurance.
crazy right now? Like, that is the dumbest thing ever. Because
What do you mean? That was my first venture. Was Calyx Development. We started a real estate investment trust. It was me and 3 rich people who put in $7 million.
I got worms.
And within a year, we had raised $61 million and deployed it. We had nearly 1 million square feet of real estate, but we were too soon, or
so much
not
money
soon
to come.
enough,
Yeah.
because we were planning on going public the second quarter of Clinton's first administration.
Great. That's
And
what.
that didn't happen. And then Jeff Sessions actually, the story I'm told, his number 2 actually called our CEO, George Stone, and said, whatever the conversation was, it was just summarized with no fucking way. You know, over my dead body. It was from Sessions.
Yeah.
He was never going to let us go public. That was it.
that guy was fucking
You know, but that's the way to go. The
No, you need the
McDonald's
land.
philosophy, they are a real estate company. They are not a restaurant company. They own the real
Yep.
estate for
Exactly.
all the McDonald's. They know exactly. You're so
Walmart.
right.
Walmart owns the most land in America, right? I mean, that's you know.
But here's the
commercial property.
thing. We have to get it past all of that.
Yes.
Why
We need-
why are we not talking about why does it need to be a mile from a school or 1,000 feet or whatever? I don't understand this. If they're not allowing consumption there anyway, I'm just buying. It's like saying you can't have a grocery store within walking distance of
Yeah.
people that don't have cars.
Well, I really think the core is getting more access to the sector, like in licensing or cultivation or anything, because there's just not enough people who care, because we don't have opportunity. We can't like all have grows or dispensaries or a social use club or a brand, even though people know that they have patients for all these different ailments and they have an audience out there. So like without enough people that see like that fighting for it is worth it, it's amazing to me when I sit in rooms how much people have given up. Like I wasn't even doing this 10 years ago. I still had my social work job, and like I hadn't been fired yet, and like that's only 10 years ago. Like whatever we're seeing right now, it doesn't have to be this way, and people are so like resigned to like this is how it's going to be.
Because people don't know how to sit at a table and have a difference of
I agree.
opinion and talk it out.
They need more weed.
Okay? Yeah, right. And we should do that over weed. With weed and lots
Well,
of weed.
I wish there was somewhere we could go.
Dabs too.
Yeah, dabs too.
James,
Yeah.
James,
See, I don't know that one. That one went over my head. What was that one, Vin? Jane didn't get that one either.
No, but I'm not as like into.
That'd be Tarzan, yeah.
Oh, okay, sure.
Because
Yeah.
Jane.
He's going
Okay,
deep.
let's
He's going
go
deep
deep.
cut. He goes
So
Yeah,
cerebral.
he likes
See,
me
Vinny
before,
goes
that's my
cerebral
favorite
deep
one.
cuts sometimes where nobody knows what the fuck he's thinking.
Yeah.
You're like,
No, it's
you didn't get that? It was Tarzan.
It's not that nobody knows. Do we really want to go there? We're asking ourselves. You know, we'd rather just ask him, because if you have to figure it out, then.
I want to grind something out to put and smoke this bong for the first time
Where
ever.
is this bong?
It's in this bag, and I've never
Where is it?
never smoked out of it. It's in here.
We got weed for you. Let's see what we got.
We got plenty of good weed.
This is what
All right,
this is what
so
we're giving away.
this is Jane told me about this today when she called me up on the phone and said, I want to do a giveaway. And what did I say to you, Jane? Did I say
You're like, we're terrible at that.
terrible at that? I said we
I know,
can't do
it's
the
hard to
giveaway,
do.
the shipping, the picking of the winner,
the
or setting
fragility.
up the rules. If you could do all that,
Yeah.
I said we can do everything
Yes.
else.
Okay, so it's funny because I was listening to you while I was driving here, and you were previewing this, but then I realized I hadn't made the post yet. So like in the car, I was like, oh, I took a screenshot of the Adam Dunn show. in the car. We have a little project.
What's your favorite?
Wait, you're gonna have us do a project?
No. This is fun. Okay, so
Mark's shaking his head.
on my
No, it's
Instagram
not.
page. Okay, say the right thing. On my Instagram page,
Which is Shop Jane West.
No, they took that away too.
Oh.
So I was
Better
the
with
Jane West
Jane?
at 35K, gone. And that was like pictures of my kids and life and stuff. Like that was terrible. And then Shop Jane West they took away at 20K 6 months ago. And now I'm at Better with Jane, 5K. It's fine. I don't give a shit.
I will
Honestly,
link it
just
in the chats.
if you guys can always just use, we should all be doing this. Every guy's out there
So
in
many
the cannabis
jokes.
world.
Better
You
with
should be directing everyone to put a link in to your actual website instead of putting in a handle in to your social page that's on
don't
the
tell
site.
us. We're out of date.
Well, just what? Okay,
Would you like to run
I'm
our
off topic
website?
already.
I saw that on the way in. I was like, all right,
Yeah.
it's too late now.
Will you run our website for
Fine,
us?
I don't know. I'm barely running mine. No, the point is.
What's your
the
terp
point
style?
is that the
what's
point,
your terp style?
Terp style?
Yeah, what do you like? What kind of terps? Since you're a terp queen now, you've got your you got it all figured out.
I can't answer it like that.
Little limonene.
You
There's
learn?
all these other components to it,
What's your
and
major? Like everyone's got like their fave.
Funneline.
why do I think I like
Piney.
humulene?
Oh,
Humorline.
But it's hard to find.
funny. She's
There's
funny.
like a. I don't know how to pronounce them right either. No, I like limonene when it comes to like sour diesel and Durban poison. Like I like a Durban poison that smells like lemon, like citrusy. But then when I like things that look like this. No, not this one.
So Jane, I want to go completely tangent off topic. What animal is that?
That is a skunk.
Fuck.
Is anything
What is
not?
it? Is it not a
Wow,
skunk?
dude.
No.
Yeah, no, Dave's really bad.
Oh, that's the
Identifying
that'll
animals.
be the thing. Okay.
No, he's so bad.
What did you think it was?
He thought it was a koala, dude.
Oh, this one. I like this one a lot.
Okay, let's
I like the ones that do smell
like
creamy,
Raptor
and it's
Lady.
hard to describe that.
Here's a creamy one. Here's a creamy one. Describe it.
Oh, this one is what I want. I want this one. What is this? Cherry punch. I want cherry punch.
Here's right
Please.
there. Wait.
Oh, there's
whoa,
more.
whoa,
Oh my god, I love
whoa.
it.
This
See,
is
I just
really
wish.
your
Okay,
speed
so
right
this
here.
is
This
what I
is the
need.
one. This is what she wants.
Are
I
you going to show her
need
super
What is
boof?
that?
Profile. Oh, I do like that. Oh, there's like a melon in there too. See if we should. Well, I'm not into the deli style stuff.
read it.
Super boof.
Oh, that was my favorite out of the bunch.
Oh, then I definitely want it.
Vinny,
You know
how
what?
many
I'm gonna
knuckles?
pick super boof
How many
over
knuckles? How
cherry
many
punch
knuckles
because of the
these?
color.
I can't believe you didn't have that queued up.
Oh, it is so tart. I love that.
Try
I love
that.
this.
Here, I
The
won't show you
tart.
your name first. I'll show
Just
you.
keep
Susie getting
talking
some deep
because
cuts over
if
here,
you're on the
Jesus.
show for another 10 minutes, we can have
to be
AI
willing to put
Jane.
them at least 3 inches up.
Oh my god, I forgot it.
You forgot.
I totally forgot about that.
Did you forget? You
I don't know.
We never
I
forget on
should-
the Adam Dunn show.
No, we don't forget anything. We just don't know how to record it and can't find it later.
What is that
But
one called?
we know it was there and it happened.
Say the name. Say the
Cherry
name.
Slimeade.
Can't direct it.
Cherry Slimeade.
Good job. These are all rare.
This
These
is
are
my
all coming
favorite
from
one.
House of Dank.
House of Dankness.
Okay, House of Dankness. I'd love to talk to them. I don't have a Colorado partner right now.
You would like to talk to House
really
of
don't.
Dankness?
Yeah.
You want to
Really?
talk to them?
Hang on a
Maybe
second.
if
Hold
you
on,
guys,
let me-
if it's
Hang
sitting
on.
here, I think you guys are recommending
It's
it.
going to be really hard
Oh, yeah, we have.
to get. We're going to have to make
Okay.
a couple of phone calls.
Make a call.
Hold on.
You might. Hey,
Okay.
yeah.
Just wait a second.
I'll start
See if
working
you
on
can
it.
come down.
Shit.
You might even get him down here if you're.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me just send
Am
him
I
a
missing something? There's something here.
doodly-doo.
I don't know either. I don't know where this is
Okay.
going
So what
either.
do you want to say?
Hold on. Oh, wait.
Okay.
Hold on. He's right there.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
That was easy.
Oh, hi.
Oh, I didn't even realize
I'm going to try this one and then you can talk about the terpenes. I want the terpene profile.
Oh, that's
So
funny.
if the terpene profile's in, then the minor cannabinoid on the side, and I could smell it
No.
and then be like, okay,
Now we want to know what you really like. That's the thing.
Yeah.
well, this is, I'm going to try it.
So which one is the one? The cherry punch was the
I
one.
really actually do this, like this one.
So we
that's
talked
the
about
one?
this
I
2
really do
years
like this
ago,
one
Adam.
better.
Okay, let me see.
Because it has like a.
That is a Slimeade?
Which one?
Oh, no.
No.
it's
Super
boof.
boof.
Of course it's a super boof. What'd you think it was good?
Oh, what's
Of
this
course.
one? What's this one? Let me smell it.
Remember we talked about this, that we should be doing cannabis judging competitions where nobody can see
more
anything written down first.
Yes.
That's the obvious
However,
way, always,
wouldn't it be
always.
great if it like just didn't have to be this like fake competition thing that then no one trusts, but
Cannabis
like
Cup?
instead, it's just like you guys are just assessing it for everyone, you know,
The problem is that people
instead of just like these people
lose.
win.
Well, usually the problem is that they get like it happened at the original Cannabis Cups. It happened, like Arian came in, and just dump money, like literally dump fucking like money in front of them. As far as he said, I'm paying for all your hotels, I'm paying for this, I'm paying for that. I was like,
One paid
and
for that
they
one hotel.
miraculously won everything. So I was like, oh, this is bullshit. You know what I mean? So like from day one, we
Right,
figured out
and you're like,
that
but
that's because
you
it's a
want someone to
magazine.
trust.
That was a magazine. The magazine is based on ad sales. That's all they care about. So you take the big ad, you win. That's just obvious. So it depends on what kind of content. So you really have to look at the goal of the people that are involved. And if their goal is to get ad space, they're going to go with the people who take the big fucking ad. I can't help it. You know what I mean? They're going to have to give them something.
And that's the thing with all these competitions, because all the people that are just online or like have, like online media companies, by throwing up a competition, you get everyone applying, giving you all their information. Then they get picked, and then it's their job to get everyone in their whole network to vote, which also gets all that data as well.
You mean like somebody who might be nominated for Best Cannabis Podcast of the Year for an
I'm
MJ?
so glad for you. I'm so happy for you.
Everybody gets a trophy.
Yes. I say it more to help people who don't win or aren't part of it to know that, like, it's not everything,
Well, I was thinking.
But I hope you guys win. I hope you win and
we're not
you have a thing. Why not?
Come on, look
Who
at us.
are you up against?
Look at us.
I've never even been on a different show.
We're not
Are
gonna
there
be
other people
there,
that do
so
this?
They're not going to give us the.
Are there other
I mean, if
people
we
that
won,
do
what are they
this?
going to do?
Well, they want us to wear a black tie, so I have to go out and get a black tie.
Oh.
That's all I'd wear. I mean, it would
Oh, that'll be nice.
Well,
like
you
I
just
can
wear
see
it
very
around your
slick.
neck.
I would just
with
wear
a
the tie.
T?
I would
Very, like-
tie, boom, gun, let me
Globby.
in. Like what? That's all.
It's
you
at the
expect.
Palms.
It is. That's
Yeah.
that's our
David
big.
Tran. He's wonderful. He's putting it on.
Yeah, but we're not so happy with the Palms idea.
That's okay. You can hate the. I don't know why.
Well, just the
throw
idea
that
that it's
at
in a
me or
casino because we've been to casino
Oh, yeah,
parties
yeah.
and we know it's
I
like
hear
you're
you.
not blazing giant joints at the casino party. You might be.
Well,
That's where
see,
Johnny B
We'll see
got
how it
busted.
goes.
no, we need to.
Are we going to smoke that bong or
Yes.
talk
Okay.
about it?
So, well, first I'm going to tell you about it.
No, it's a microphone.
It's
You
my
have to ask,
first-
is that a microphone?
It's
or
my
a bong?
holiday collab. So I'm picking like a product to be like a holiday collaboration that has all the stuff that I kind of want in a product. What you would want to be gifted in cannabis. So what I love about this is it has the outer box, which I've always wanted, and it hasn't had that yet. Where like this is the storage tin.
That's the box that
Yeah,
the
no, this is
popcorn
it's
comes
big.
in.
No, but it's a good. It's a good.
Sure,
red box.
yeah, you can fill it with popcorn after. I need to see which
No,
side.
that's what you get at Costco with the holiday popcorn box, right? It's like that same.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. You're absolutely right. But it is quite sturdy.
And are they? Is it limited in number?
Yes, there's only 420 of them that have been made, and each one has a number on the bottom.
How'd you come up with that number?
Oh, gee, I don't know. The manufacturer picked it. But either way, we were going to make, I said we should have 710.
Yes,
Whatever.
always.
They said we'll start
See?
with 420.
How do you sell something? Sell more of them.
You sell 710 dab attachments that go onto it. That's what
There you go.
There you go.
That's a great idea.
You're going to send the show 5% of that idea.
I'm
right?
going
At
to,
least.
no. You already have the done deal. What more do you want?
What do you
Get
mean?
the biggest done deal there is.
22%.
So the bong is covered in my my signature JW pattern that I use for collaborations, and it has this little innovation. It's made by West Coast Gifts, Gear Premium, and Howard and his team have been doing this for 30 years, but it has a slot on the side for
you always
your
want
lighter.
a slot on the side.
So if you turn it around towards so your lighter fits right in it. Which it is handy.
You just won Mark over.
It's
I just
handy
watched
dandy.
him. He just glazed over
Yeah.
like, ah,
Yeah.
that's my bong right there.
And then I need,
Got the
like, I
ice
have to have
capture.
removable downstem and bowls for cleanliness mainly. I gotta fill that thing up. So then
are
also the
marketing
foam,
geniuses
as
on
you
the
see, is
other side.
cut to it. So it's really a good like storage
You didn't
container.
mention that what happened today on your website, your portal.
What do you mean?
A certain purchase was made.
Oh yeah, somebody made a big done deal purchase today on the portal.
What'd they buy?
They bought 6 pipes. They bought 6 of my little American-made chillums.
The done deal works, everybody.
It does work. Oh, this is a big bong.
You're finessing.
I haven't used it yet. This was the first one there is.
This is number 1?
Well, actually, this is number 192. I looked on the way over here, and I guess they didn't like pick. I'm sure they just picked one out of the pile. But okay, so this is not the one you'll win. I'm going to send you a brand new one that has never been smoked out of. And so also it has a built-in ice catcher.
Saw that.
Yeah, so that's nice too.
And
Also,
if they want that one, I'm just kidding.
That was my
This one's
go-to.
mine.
That was my go-to.
Oh, Mark, you're so divorced.
Bro, I'll trade you last year's model underneath the table over there.
Schmoopsy.
All right, this is a big bowl too.
You load it with ice,
was
and then
asking
you
for the
forget
chat.
about
Oh,
it, and
you're-
then you come back, and it's all leaked.
You realize we're going to
gonna
hear
grind it a
this
little bit.
forever?
What?
We're going to hear, and it's a big bowl, too.
And it's a big
all the
bowl,
time. Vinny's
too.
going to be playing
I need
all
to
your
think of-
drops.
I
He
need
plays
to
your
think of-
knuckle drop all the time.
I need to.
No,
then
don't censor
consider-
yourself.
No, I want to come up with better ones. Big bowl.
you-
That
how do
seems
you-
pretty like
Better
that's
than
pretty
3
basic.
knuckles deep? You said it. I didn't, right? I
Guys,
mean,
Cannabis
you.
suppositories really are an answer for a lot of people, and we shouldn't shame them because it's very effective
Very effective. At what?
at administering medicine to
Delivering
people who cannot
cannabinoids.
swallow or
Doses,
smoke.
massive doses. Which,
Yeah,
you know,
and short amount of time
For sure.
where there's a lot of
and
capillaries.
bypass little action going there too.
Are you saying you're going to come back on the show one
Yeah.
day and we'll,
Maybe.
you know,
Remember how
500
we came up with
milligram
the idea?
suppository?
The idea wasn't it
Okay.
going to be
So
called
before
like
before you do a bong hit, you should maybe think about, since Dave has laid all of it on at your feet of this contest idea. So.
Oh yeah, the contest. We have to do the
yeah,
contest.
yeah,
Okay.
Because I already can
So-
see, like, now we're all
Wait, no, let her
All
hit
right,
the
so-
bong first.
No, this is the
What?
problem.
Oh, this
You
is
don't-
the first
don't you
time.
get it?
Oh.
Like, don't you
Okay,
see what I'm
yes.
trying to do? I'm
So,
trying to stop
yep.
this bong.
So, if you want to win your own with this whole little set, I'm gonna mail it to you myself.
Because we're
so
not.
yeah,
We're not you know
I'm
it's
gonna take
happen.
care of
Now
it.
you know it's going to happen. It's not.
I'm gonna,
coming
it's
from
gonna
us.
be-
It's
I will take care of it.
It's not a done deal.
No,
until
I will-
it's a,
I will
it's-
take
it's
care
a-
of it.
It's a Jane West.
Nick's
I'm just
not
gonna send
shipping
it
it.
to
You're
you.
not going to say
There
Nick
might,
on your way
it'll come
home.
from my office. There might be some like dog hair on it, but other than that, it's gonna be great. So, so in order to win this, you have to go to my Instagram page at Better with Jane, where on the drive over here, I posted a picture of the Adam Dunn Show logo, and it says, "If you know, you know," and you have to write down the answer to
Here comes the hard part.
the
Oh,
question.
This is
You
where
have
we
to write
get-
down this word. Oh, okay. So yeah, this was the
There's
part
no
where I was like, "This is the
question,
fun thing we
there's
get to
just a
do."
word.
Okay. You'll have to write down in the comments section what the name of the animal was on top of the jar, and that's how you enter to win.
Oh, the name that.
Can you pass the
that
cream creams?
Dave couldn't get.
Pass me the cream creams.
I can show the animal, right? This
Yes.
no.
No. Well, it would be good if they had to listen to the show.
Yeah, Dave, don't try to.
Yeah, Dave,
No,
why are you
it's a-
ruining everything, Dave?
Wait, does anyone have a lighter?
I already said that Dave does not know how to do contests.
Yeah.
He goes against everything. Like,
And
he's
then-
like,
No,
okay, so what
he's
you
like,
gotta do is
he's
don't.
like, so then we give it to
don't
everyone.
ever-
They all get them.
Don't let anybody know the number. So
No,
the
but
number is,
but then wait, but
Yeah.
then there's more to it. So
more to
once
it.
they identify the animal,
They're gonna write down the animal.
They're
name.
gonna
No,
write
the
it
j- was-
down.
oh my God, you're so
Your-
sweet.
the
Vinny.
animal you
No,
said,
it's a
or the
joke
animal-
because I have one.
No, the wait, they
I
have
thought
to
of that on the way over here.
wait. Is the question what I thought the animal
Yes,
was?
That's what it should
Yes,
be.
like, it should be that.
Yes.
Even though like people probably copy
No, because
each
everybody
other.
knows what
No.
everybody knows what this is.
You're right.
Oh,
You're
Ben
totally right.
hates
That's what
me
we do.
now.
You know what?
That's
Also, they
Ben
would have
is
had to
canceling
listen
his
to this
advertising on
through
the
this
show.
stuff.
No. He
He
loves
didn't
it.
want that. He wanted
Yeah.
it to be while I was
Okay,
standing
we're
there.
not going to say the word again though.
No,
No.
don't
We
say
all
it.
know. Okay,
Stop.
Dave's the party guy.
the word that you're thinking of, we're not
Dave
saying
you can't-
again on the show.
Now you-
So
We're not
just,
telling you at the
just
end.
for the rules,
Don't say it.
just no, for the rules. I'm not
Okay.
going to say what the
No,
animal
yes,
is.
I'm going to say
The
officially
only
now.
way you can win is to go to
The beginning.
Better
of the show.
with
Instagram.
Jane on
Yep.
Instagram.
I've
Yeah.
linked it like 10 times in the
Can't
chat.
believe I'm directing people.
But
on Instagram.
remember, they
Every
don't
chat.
listen to the chat. They are listening. They
Yes.
can't see it, so they go to Better with
They
Jane
have to listen.
on Instagram.
I was just saying.
Earlier in the show, I said I miss. I didn't get the animal right. I did not get it right. Everybody got it
Yes.
right. I didn't.
But are you a different animal?
You're going to say
the
the
same
name
beast?
of the animal that I said
Yes.
it was, not the animal that it actually is.
Oh,
Correct.
so you want the wrong answer.
Yes.
Yeah, wrong
Yes,
answers only,
exactly.
please. Wrong
Okay.
answers only.
Yes.
Yes.
And then when you do that, you're simply entering to win.
And you'll be
And
a
so
number.
from that list of people, I think I was going to just print it out and then like make little slips.
No, there is an actual program that works
I
on
know, but I
Instagram
thought I'd do it
that
on
will
video.
random generator.
Okay,
do it
but
on
that's
video.
like so boring. No one will believe me.
Boring. Video.
Okay,
I
you
was
let me
gonna-
know how that printout works. And
I
you
w-
cut them all out. And
I'm going to ship it.
She is going for it. Let her do it. Let her shine.
If I made
with her arts and
things
crafts.
like this, I can figure
I
that
wanna
out.
see this. I want to see the video.
Yeah.
I'm already excited.
Can anybody else smoke out of that bong? Or
Yeah.
are you gonna
Because
smoke
we're gonna
out
be
of it?
like, and at the end of the video, you say, "Now,
Do you
Dave,
want something
That's how you fucking roll it. That's how you do context, you dumb fuck.
Like,
You don't say that.
It took 60 seconds.
No, you don't.
But it is information
I'm gonna do it.
that you should fucking memorize. But
Bigger.
It works. Yeah, come on, Jane.
Guys, this is big.
See, you
You shouldn't be able to talk. You should be like.
That's not a good look.
Take two.
That's
take
not a
two.
good look.
Jane's bong. Take
If I
two.
did that,
Come
all
on,
the
Jane.
newbies watching would be like, I don't want to take a hit that big.
No, one more time. Ready?
Okay, no.
Ready?
Yeah, they would.
Jane
No.
West. Bong hit. Take two. No, don't.
Gurgle.
Gurgle, go.
Gurgle.
All right.
Take two.
Hold on.
Let's see this. Yeah. All right, ready?
I forgot you guys.
This is how we.
You
Smoking
forgot?
bigger hits like this
You
is not
forgot?
necessarily like
It's okay, Jane.
needed to enjoy yourself on cannabis. You will.
Don't you remember last year when you came on the show and you convinced us how cool it would be for us to take over your party at the top of the
Oh my God! And then they took it away from us.
Yeah. And then
It's being remodeled.
and then they sent me the confirmation and
I
they had
totally
us in
forgot
like a
about that. That
regular
was-
room but didn't change the
Yes.
price at all.
I followed
it
up
was
on
still,
that until the last.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck them.
That was
We-
gonna
we
be
had a great
so
party, though,
fun,
without it,
though.
though. Yeah.
They remodeled it. I can't wait to see what it looks like. Okay.
I know. Nick was pissed
All right,
off.
take two. Jane takes her first hit.
Take two.
Take
First
two.
hit, take two.
First hit, take two.
play Casey in the Sunshine Band.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. And that's super boof?
Double super boofed. Come on, you gotta
not
get
to
the two
cup.
knuckles deep, Vinny.
This is not a good look.
Vinny, stop eating the barbecue and play some fucking Jane drops.
Bro, he's getting deep cut.
I just want to get to level 9.
All right, Jane. Good job. It works. It really
does.
You can tell.
It
like,
definitely worked.
What's the name of the guys who made it?
No one knows this animal.
Gear
though.
Premium.
Are you sure we said it?
We said it.
We
Yes.
said it.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck yeah, I
Okay.
said it.
Yeah.
All right.
You got to go to the beginning of the show and watch it again. That's the hard part.
Yep.
They're like, you failed because no one knows this.
Great.
Then it's a great
I'm so
question.
glad. I was gonna wait through the show to figure out the question.
Yeah, they have to watch it again.
Yeah.
Every
Oh, I
second.
know all about that.
Every second. And if you're a Patreon listener, we
see
may even spill the beans on Patreon. You never know, 'cause
I can clean it.
nobody gets it, and Patreon crew gets a chance, a double chance.
Oh.
I might give it a second hint.
If it doesn't happen by then,
Yeah,
right?
we can see. We'll be like, hey, what happened? How come nobody's got it? Because Dave didn't say it.
I did
Also,
say it. I know I said it.
also, I don't. Who knows what I remember? And it's what I. But it's actually recorded.
Somehow our contests are now becoming the same. She can't
You know
remember.
what? In this era, in this day and age, like it's all fake news. So.
Uh-oh.
Oh, never mind. We can cut that word.
So
We don't cut anything.
So speaking of MJ BizCon, what's
Yeah.
obviously I'm sure. So no big parties this year for you, or what's
No, I don't. I've never actually attended the conference.
You're just one of those guys, huh?
Yeah.
I throw a big party right before it, and I'm out of here.
I literally have never. And like in the early days, they were actually really hard on us. And that like lounge you were in, like they were the ones that sent people to the Caesar security to shut it down.
Really?
Because
yeah,
we
I
weren't
remember that.
sponsors.
I remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
You remember that? Yeah.
That's funny.
Well,
So-
then what do you think,
So I've
Jane?
never. That's why I've never been.
What's your opinion on the fact that what I feel was one of the most enjoyable after events anywhere was not your party. It was great, but was David Tran would throw
Yes,
that 3,000 person event.
Yes.
Consumption
And
friendly.
he's still crushing it.
But he's throwing it at the Palms this year,
I
which is
hear
a
you.
non-consumption
No, I know.
venue. So I was very
I
vocal
know.
about that with him.
I know.
That it's
Well, here's the thing, and this is why we need more opportunity. So, like, if there was more opportunity and more venues were allowing us to do exactly what we want to do at all the places, because we've all defined those places in order to have those awesome events, right? Then, like, there'd be more places to pick from, and more people would be able to do this. But instead, like, they basically pick one event for the whole, conference that they dive everyone into. And there's not opportunity for all this, like, in a lot of these contracts people sign, you have to say also that you're not going to do competing events unless you're an official event. And so, like, they actually are, like, withholding, like, they're making you agree to just, like, play along. And so we just don't see, like, a bunch of diversity or, like, events that cater to everybody or like bringing everyone together, it just gets very like it's like a train track.
But something that might have happened on our show with the two Chris's who are numbers two.
With
It's
which are the two Chris's?
well, it's Pam, right?
There's
who's
like
running
there's
it,
actually
and-
like 58 of them.
Anyway, we had two Chris's
They
on.
replaced all the Chads. They were like, all right, we need more Chris's, less Chads.
And we
Wait, are you talking about the guy that owns the?
No, he sold that one off.
Okay.
We had two representatives on, and we talked about having a sanctioned area roped off, and they were like, no. And then 2 days after that, somebody says that they're going to have one.
Oh,
and
okay,
it's going
great.
to be
Great.
inside, though. You have to be
Yeah.
in the conference, and you have to go outside a certain door where the loading dock is, so no muggles can be there. And it's
You're
supposed to
breaking
be
your own rules.
consumption,
We're talking
right?
about it too
so,
soon. Now you're gonna
but
not
now
do it.
I think they kind of are fucking over David Tran by having him hold it at the Palms.
Yes.
When now they're having consumption at the event themselves. So
There's just like there just should be more opportunity. There should be more venues and more people throwing more events at more places where we know we can have a social use event. I went to a big party at the oh god, I apologize for not remembering because it was a really great party.
Nuwu.
No, I think it's Lexi or
Oh yes, that was the
Is that what it's
adults
called?
hotel. Yeah, that's where we
Okay, great.
we did the show.
Yeah.
The Artisan.
The Artisan. It was the
yes,
Artisan.
yes, that. Okay, that's it. That's
From
it.
the chapel.
That's the place.
Talk about a
Yeah, 2 years ago.
shady ass place. There you go. That's one.
Look at the
If
big
they are doing their best and offering something that like
Yeah, but we
no
sat
one else
on the
does.
pews. You know what
Yeah.
was done in those
Yeah, yeah.
pews?
Wait, I don't think I sat in a church.
There's a church in the back of the little mini. It's a mini church in the back of the place. We
Okay.
go in there, and it was pretty.
No
safe.
smoking in there though.
Totally no smoking.
No, we were
Back
smoking.
on the no smoking thing.
Wait, this
So
is the
guy-
hotel.
In the
I was
hotel.
at the hotel. Yeah.
we smoked in it.
Yeah.
To the
He
back.
walked in and he said,
There's
"No
a chapel.
smoking, okay?"
There's a chapel in there, and we had the whole show set up, and they're like, so they told us no smoking. We like literally like closed the door, and we just started blazing the whole fucking show.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. And yeah, we never even got questioned about it. It's weird, huh?
No, he never came back.
He just never.
He
came.
didn't want to come. He didn't want to know. He
Yeah.
never came back.
It was weird. It was like, wow, that's pretty dope. And yeah, the whole show
Was
was
it Mark or
but we were-
Vinny?
But we
Which
were
one
like,
was it? It was
we
Mark.
were so nervous the whole show, though. You could. I mean,
You were
I
like-
was like, oh, it's gonna happen. The guy's gonna come in any second. It's gotta happen. You know what I mean?
You were in a hotel room.
No.
No, we're in the chapel downstairs. There's
Oh,
a
that's
chapel.
where you're filming though.
Well, Jason
Recording.
Harris rented out the entire
Okay.
hotel. And
Got
it was
it.
so packed that they had security. When I went outside with a microphone to interview people, they wouldn't let me back in the hotel. They said you have to wait for somebody to leave. I'm like, I might get the headphones on and
Yeah.
and no, and
Every time I've been there, it's been packed.
Yep.
It's like very.
Every Jane drop ever.
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 All right, so everyone's got it right now because we're approaching 7:00. So you have to go
Yes.
to Better with Jane.
Yes.
You have to, on her Instagram page,
Go to my Instagram page, please.
you have to write down the name of the animal that I thought the Rare Dankness or House of Dankness logo. Not the animal it is, the wrong answer I gave.
Gonna give it away. Just know.
I know.
He's gonna. I just
brain
know.
is ready to-
So if you write Great White Shark, you will lose.
All right. Stop there.
Stop there.
Stop there,
Jeez,
Dave.
yeah, I
Dave's-
know.
He's gonna get to the edge and.
Dave's the worst.
Start
With good
changing his
giveaways.
accent and
Yeah.
fucking everything
He
else.
just can't do it.
I'm Jane. Understand? Jane.
Me, Tarzan. You, Jane.
I'm Jane.
Hi. All right, so let's do a few shout outs. And how do people buy your products, Jane?
This show is
Because it's not from
worldwide.
Instagram.
Ideally, everyone just goes to janewest.com and finds what they need there. Because I have to follow all these different crazy rules because I partner with growers, but I also like make products like this that are widely distributed. So
You're
the best-
towing the line of infringement on
just like-
all your contracts.
No, not at all. I own all the designs and like, but it's more just that I just have to be able to channel people to what they need, and that best place to do that is at janewest.com.
At janewest.com.
Yeah.
And I still think.
And I
if
can
you're
also
a
talk
rager-
freely about weed and things. Like, people can't do that, and a lot of like the most important influencers out there, like they can't say so many different words that when they're trying to explain it to new users, they like It doesn't even make sense.
It's like we're back in the going to the head shop and being like,
yeah,
"Can I
you have to like
tomatoes.
Can I
Yeah.
have the tobacco pipe, please?" It's like,
Yes,
"Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
It says don't say bong.
Yeah.
word.
No,
Hey, you
you're
gotta
really
go.
not
You
supposed
said
to.
bong.
Oh, sorry, I'm out of here.
No.
That's all it took.
I had a few of those moments where I fucked up, walked into New York shop and just was like, "Dude, look at that fucking bong right there, Joker
Out.
face on it." Like,
Get
"You're
out.
out of there, get out of the shop." It's
Get
like,
out.
it's such, and
Same.
that was sort of the first like totally uncool thing, but you realize that the guy who owns the shop is cool, but he can't not do it. And
Yeah.
then you're like,
No,
what? Like 2 seconds ago you were
Because he's
rolling
towing the
in.
line. It's the same thing. You
rolling
gotta
in.
It's the
just be
same
like,
thing with Jane.
yeah, you gotta be like, okay,
Like, oh, you fucked up.
kind of this.
Oh yeah, wrong thing. We said the wrong thing. Time to go.
Time to go. So everyone's got it. Go to Better with Jane. Write the animal down, and then Jane is going to randomly
Finally,
generate
a hard
number
contest for
Yeah.
the first time ever.
I'm gonna do
and
something.
send you a bong. I mean, the bong retails for what? 3,000-4,000?
No, it's $240.
200. Look, that's not 3,000. Look how many you can get. You get
Thank
10.
you.
You're trying to do the old 420 switcheroos. Is that what's
Maybe, yeah.
240.
This is it. It comes in the bin. You get it the entire set,
I like it.
and it's like a gift set. So.
Is this one going to stay here at the show, or are you taking this
No,
one?
I was gonna take this one back because we used it, but you have 2 new ones coming towards you.
Whoa.
Oh,
Look at Vinny. I already know Vinny's already claiming it. He claimed the last one.
I got ice ready for it already.
Yeah, they're the next 2
The old one's still standing
in the
right,
world.
Yeah,
Let
it's
us
in the other
know.
room.
You know what? We should try to. We should start a club. I'm making this up. Oh, this is good. This is
Jane
good.
West
this is
Club?
social media.
Jane West Club,
This
nice.
is social media.
oh, got it.
Okay, ready? We're to watch
Fans of
this.
Jane West.
So there's only 420 of them. So we should start a little club, and because you know I thought I had number 1, but I
Because
didn't.
you watched our Tuesday dabs with
Who has
Dab X,
number
and you
one?
can only
I
be in
don't
the
know.
club with Dab X.
Just somebody rando?
Well, there's 420
doesn't make
of
sense.
them in like a space.
You didn't pull
No, no, no.
number 1 out?
No, it's okay.
gotta
It's
pull it
fine.
early.
No, that's the whole point. Like we'll find out
It's
which
gonna
number
be
everybody
sold
gets.
on eBay for a lot of money.
So you're
Number
going for
1?
192.
242.
All right. I hope it does. That'll be a good sign.
So it's all rando. Is what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Well, we can start like a hashtag where you like figure out who's got each number.
You should pull.
And I try to collect all
Mark's
420.
gonna say something.
Let Dave figure out that giveaway. Just kidding.
You got to pull out all
420
the
would
crucial
probably go.
numbers because then you can hold them back later. And be
I'll do it next time.
69.
Nick
dude,
had
I
it
don't
right.
know.
You should have saved 420, not 1.
True.
It's not acceptable past the age of 8.
That is true. I might still be able to do. We'll see. I like the randomness.
So I'm jumping forward like 10 years. It's on the show Pawn Stars, and somebody's walking in with bong number 420 into the Pawn Stars
Yes.
to get it sold.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
Chum Lee, to get it verified, does his thing where he goes, "Hold on, I'll get it verified." And who do they call? Jane West.
Yes.
Shows up on Pawn Stars.
Dude,
I
Pawn
want
Stars
that.
isn't even a show
I
anymore.
want that. We could just make this up
Hasn't
just
been a
for
show for
weed.
6 years.
Like there should be a Pawn Stars for weed because everyone's got equipment and bongs.
Oh yeah, nothing like a used grow equipment show.
Mark hates
I'll
me.
give you
Jazz,
50 cents.
I need
Saturday-
jazz
bowls,
bangers.
jazz
Jazz
That's already a
bangers.
thing.
I got
Broken Puffco atomizers.
Yeah, I got 300 old Puffcos.
Oh.
It's okay.
What
let's-
about
about
Jane?
dispensary rescue?
Yes.
Yeah,
Tape.
no, we've on the way here. I was
Yeah,
talking
that's-
about doing the same with a grow with somebody because it's like they're just in the East Coast. There's so many fucked up grows right now that my friend was like, "Dude, you could come here and kill it," because there's like I know like 6 distressed grows right now, and I'm like, how are people failing so bad? But it's just because they're, yeah.
Oh, anybody looking for a facility in Massachusetts, hit me up.
It's a lot more
I reached out to
humidity.
you today.
What's that?
Yeah.
Well, I was just looking for a facility yesterday.
Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I need a facility in Massachusetts.
Wow, this is great.
You
I'll
wanna
talk
move
to
back?
anybody you
wanna
like.
move back?
Massachusetts.
All right, guys.
Buildasoil.com.
Oh, you went off.
Yeah, we have
You
to.
went off
We
script, dude.
gotta
You went
do
off
it. No,
script, bro.
we have to pay bills.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know, I get
Hey,
it,
Mark,
but
if you're listening out
money,
there, write
dude.
this down.
that's pretty good. Good job, guys. You guys are good.
Usually.
Hey,
You guys-
before you
Yeah?
call Build a Soil, though, if you're hungry, you should come down to So High Cafe.
there you
thought you
go.
would.
That was the order there.
Yeah.
Come
And then,
on, the So High
we've
Cafe.
very-
Get some barbecue burn ends. All I know is I'm sitting here. We have 2
Dude.
guests
Oh my
in
god!
the
I
studio.
pulled up and I thought I
Tons
was at the wrong spot because I was like, "Oh my god, this is a barbecue restaurant!" And
Same.
oh my god!
It's like a
I almost
James
dropped the
Bond.
bong.
It's like a
Tons
James-
of weed, and they're all fucking chowing down out there.
I know,
Fucking Mike
everyone-
Denver and Katie just in
all
the
these
mac
burnt-
and cheese
they're
and
eating
burnt burn ends.
My burnt ends.
Yeah.
You know,
That's part of
It's
the
not
shock.
a good look.
You can pre-order. Go to
On the camera.
sohighcafe.com.
Turns into an ASMR
That's why we
And,
took a break before Patreon.
Dude, I charged up with a latte. I was dead on arrival when I got here. And
there was one for me when I got here.
Yeah, and I got.
It's on your new promotion now.
Yeah, I got,
So
It's on my rider.
Oh, it's on your
I get a
new-
lukewarm
you-
espresso.
How
It
nice.
was ready.
So High Cafe, home of Blazing Fire Barbecue. Come check it out.
Yeah, it is
4300 West
fantastic.
Alameda.
Adam doesn't eat barbecue, but he eats some of the fish and shrimp. But
Yeah.
I tried the burnt ends, the ribs, and the brisket, all on point.
All of it's good. There's
Yeah.
there's nothing I don't like.
Yes.
Yeah, Jane is a fan of brisket.
The bong works.
Okay.
Oh, you're high?
Yes.
Are you hungry?
Yeah.
Are you
Are
hungry?
you hungry?
You
You
want
want some
ice?
barbecue?
You're gonna stick
That's
around?
so high.
Okay.
They're serving Ozo
Ozo
coffee.
That's what I was
Ozo
asking
coffee right here. They
Coffee.
So Justin has been
You want a
featuring.
mocha?
Full circle Amsterdam coffee shops.
Well, these family farms where he actually goes down there and meets them, takes photos
Is
with
the
them
new
in
one Costa Rican, or
Guatemala.
what's the new one?
This is Guatemalan.
I
Just
thought is that what's happening right now?
Costa Rican was 2 weeks ago.
That was so 2 weeks ago.
So 2 weeks ago.
That's the last thing I remember until you
All the
poured me
coffee's
this
fire,
cup
though.
of
You ever
coffee.
go- You ever go
Yeah.
there? In
Where?
Boulder? Ozo?
I've heard wonderful things.
Best.
We'll get you some to take home.
It's really
I've
good.
been there.
Yeah,
Exceptionally
good stuff.
good.
Exceptional coffee. A 1958 roaster, right?
59.
59 roaster in
Nine.
Boulder.
Get it right, dude.
So all the beans come green.
Is it like a car age?
They
You
roast
mean
them
like-
at altitude.
It's an old school.
Yeah.
It's this giant old school roaster thing going around. You go in the back and you check it out. You're like, that thing's
It's like a
Cool.
2011 Rotovap.
Cool.
old school.
And they get it from small farms all over the world. Develop a really good relationship with all
Well,
these
you
farms.
said you want a
and,
Rotovap? I heard there's one for sale.
10 for sale.
All right. I need new coffee.
Within a block.
Check
of
it out. OzoCoffee.com. You can also get the Dunn Deal 23. This is the only one with a different Dunn Deal 23.
20% off.
20% off. Get it done.
Get her done.
Deal. Buildasoil.com.
855-877-SOIL. Don't go to their website to try to enter a promo code. Go to the website to find the product you want, but then give them a call. Tell them you heard about it on the Adam Dunn Show, and you're going to get at least 10% off.
And you get special treatment because you're calling in direct and you're not some robot.
Nice.
Beep, bop, boop, bop, beep, bop,
Yeah.
beep, bop, boop, bop. And you can get Miles ferments there. You can get any information on pretty much anything that's grown
you're
in
into
any medium.
Growing no-till or Janum or any of these techniques or KNF, you can
Look
check
at
out their
that.
products. They've got fermented
Plant
plant
extracts.
extracts from our buddy.
I got
Miles.
worms.
I'm getting
I
texts
got
from
the
people
watermelon.
to say hi to Jane.
Hi.
But this one deserves recognition because he's famous.
Oh.
Danny Danko?
Who is
No, but it was this. It's the same letter.
No.
Duke Diamond says, "Tell
nice.
Jane
Danko,
hi."
Duke Diamond. It's pretty close.
But he said use that voice, like
Oh,
hi.
why doesn't
Jane."
he call
Yeah.
in? He need.
Hi.
Oh no, Patreon. He'll be
Hi.
on Patreon. Call in on Patreon.
But you can get the
You
Done Deal.
you
Build a
hang out with
soil.
us for a little
Build a soil,
longer.
done deal.
Yeah.
855-877 soil.
What do you know about quantum physics and shit like that?
And Duke will be there.
So Green Farms Med has turned their business around from during the plague times when it was just really tough to do anything. Right now, you can go to Green Farms Med in Colorado Springs, find almost any brand in Colorado, and they feature rare dankness flower or house
Cool.
of dankness
That's
flower.
cool.
Sorry, I suck. I just lost the sponsorship twice.
Where is it?
Wow,
I lost
dude.
the same. I'm the only person to ever lose
Actually,
the
I think
same
that's 3 times
advertiser
today.
twice.
It's
in
because
one
it's
show.
on the bag, bro.
Dave, where is it?
It should.
Wow.
House of Dankness?
Where do people go buy all the things you just said?
Oh, Green Farms Med is
Yes.
in Colorado Springs.
Okay,
you have
cool.
to be a medical patient.
Thanks for bringing him back.
Yeah.
From the brink.
I just want to
of
remember
just losing it again.
because like Colorado Springs is
tried to let him do
beautiful
a
this
whole
time of
ad
year.
by
You can
Would you
drive
like
down
to
there.
come back?
Hey, I'm pandering to Ben. Don't
Stock
let me
up.
pander to Ben, okay? Come on. So Green Farms Med, greenfarmsmed.com. Have your medical card. If you don't, call Dr. Joe Cohen at Holos Health in Boulder, and he'll get you one.
Green Bros.
We just had a great call with Cullen at Green Bros. So he's going to be at our event on Friday night after our show at in Las Vegas. He's coming out with some amazing products, all made in Las Vegas, United States
Cool.
of America.
Nice.
You go to greenbros.com.
Yep.
You can speak to any sales rep there. It's a big ticket item. you're going to want to speak to someone. You're going to get 5% off your big ticket item or 10% off your bucket, which we will have one in studio soon. So Green Bros with a Z.com.
Green Rose.
Shout out to Apothecary Farm, Colorado and Oklahoma's concentrate-focused dispensary. Man, they got all kinds of new flavors and also some lower pricing. And guess what? They brought back Max Out Monday. So lower prices on Monday, maxing out.
Not
dude.
What?
I know it's been
It's
gone
not
for a while.
You
So
waited
people were
this
bummed
long
out.
to tell us about
I
this?
know. Well, I had to wait till the spot here. You know what I mean?
Go
But
back
you know,
to Saturdays.
Yeah, but we don't like Mark either.
yeah. So
She's
Monday,
got-
Max Out Mondays. Go hit up those deals because they have new prices. They're really good and Max Out
And they
Monday is
loved
like
it. And
really
Amazing,
good.
amazing company in Colorado and Oklahoma. Apothecary
We'll be
Extracts.
hanging out with them at the Cowboy
Just
Cup,
relax,
so,
bro.
New single source every Friday too. So check that out. ApothecaryFarms.com.
14 or bolder. You got to try their Garden Select.
Hey.
Everything is hand selected, hand trimmed. They use nitrogen sealed cans in their normal process.
Ooh.
Fantastic price, fantastic terps.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit about
like-
THC. In fact, they've been preaching terps over THC for years.
Yes. Preach. Preach.
They sell a strain which is Deadhead OG by The Truth, which they call DJC, which has my face on it. You should buy a lot of that. It's their best-selling strain.
Want some?
It wouldn't be the best-selling strain if it wasn't fire. Their rosin. It's
definitely not.
Most of their grams out the door for under
Uh-oh, what's that
$25
thing right
bucks.
there? Holy
That's the
man.
rosin dong.
That's a
The rosin
rosin plug.
Just relax, bro.
So you go to 14orbolder.com, you enter Dunn Deal for your pre-order, and you're going to get 10% off your order. If you spot me in the wild, there's a very good chance I have a pocket full of dollar joint cards. So if you can ask me for one, I will give you one.
That's the best Jack.
ColoradoFreshCBD.com.
We think it's the only indoor-grown organic CBD flower in Colorado, possibly even in the States.
And all their products.
That's probably true.
And their products are made from those plants, which is awesome. So, like, if you're getting a topical made from indoor-grown CBD that's treated like real cannabis, then you're it's going to be more effective than some stuff made from some ditch weed off the farm. That's
Yeah, definitely.
shipped in a chipper
Of course.
and
That's
no
the whole
love.
point. It should be like this. We
Mhm.
should have variety.
So they have good quality products. You can get smokable hemp, and you can get all sorts of topicals from these guys, and know that you're getting the best of
Just show 'em the
best
card
when it comes to
and then
CBD,
take
because
it
everybody
back.
wants to use it, but you don't want to buy it at a gas station. Put it that way. right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, they got this cheap. Look at it. Doesn't it's got some bullshit Chinese hemp in it or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So check them out, and obviously
Cool.
Done Deal
Yeah.
all the time, everywhere.
You guys always have the best recommendations.
Boom.
Well, it's all stuff we use.
Yes.
There's nothing that we talk about on this show. I mean, we even don't we failed to even call them advertisers until recently. They were all sponsors who we believed in, and nothing's changed.
ColoradoFreshCBD.com. TakingTopsCannabis.com.
This guy right here, killer. Every time
Yep.
I load up,
He wears his sunglasses
I
to
notice,
the show.
I notice it does bigger fucking. It just like everything. You can just say everything's more works better. Like the rig. Sometimes you get stuff that's waxy and you're just like bullshit, and you're not getting a good
Yeah.
cloud out of it. This stuff every time I'm like, damn.
Taking Tops Cannabis.
I
Check out the
nailed-
links.
nailed it.
Hook
Go to
them
his
up.
Discord page. Buy
Go
a
to the
t-shirt.
Discord. Yep. Any deals right now that you want to? Anything going on right now?
30% still, top 30 on the website.
Tops 30. Code Tops 30 is 30% off on the website. So check
All
it
right,
out. Go
Done
get it.
Deal needs to be 31%.
33 at this point.
Tell him
Oh,
how it's done,
nice.
Jane.
That's right.
You always got to come above.
Jane
the
always tries to outdo people.
TakingTopsCannabis.com.
Just you tell me, and I will go one more step.
normal. I will be like, wait, what did they do?
One more.
So
Hortitech.
we another advertiser that we just had a great conversation with. So you go to hortitechdirect.com.
Yeah.
You take a look at what they have there, but then you're going to call because this is a big ticket item, and you're going to get a sales rep on
You're
the line
spending
who knows
$10,000.
everything about the climate of where you live. You just tell them where you're going to be growing. He will have a greenhouse spec designed so that it will always be the temperature you want inside the greenhouse. And if you need to
Okay.
see what they look like, we're going to have one outside. here on the pad at Sohi
Cool.
Cafe.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Coming
so
soon to a theater
coming
near
soon to a theater near you. HortitechDirect.com. Tell them you heard about it on the Adam Dunn Show.
I love it.
Don't forget about the Hortitech brush.
If you buy a $30,000 greenhouse, Jane, I work
Wow.
this out additionally. Okay, in addition to the 5% off, which is like $47,000 off, you get 6 of these trim brushes. 6.
Six.
Not 5.
Not 5.
Not 7.
No.
6.
And really, like, you only need 4, so 6 is
There
perfect.
you go. Perfect.
Terpwipes.com.
Amazing product right here. No, see, look, it's right in there. See, he was asking where the lighter was, Jane. He
And
said,
if-
where's the lighter?
Oh, nice.
There it
dude.
is.
And if you have a Dab X, you're going to be using the Terpwipes all the way.
Terpwipes.com/done deal.
That's all you need. To
Jeremy,
keep
if you're listening, you owe me a phone call. Terpwipes.com/done deal.
Guys.
Bio365.com. Any grow across the United States, give Tim at Bio365 a call, an email, and he will design a mix of what you're doing so you can run side by side and see that it's better in Bio365. Commercial garden, he'll send a pallet to you. He wants your business. You hearing this, Ben? A pallet. You need a pallet of this stuff? We'll get it sent to you. Okay?
Do you need a pallet? People need pallets?
He grows 9,000
Okay.
plants.
No, I didn't have like a scale in my head.
Pallets, you'd be like, exactly. That's where you would start 7 pallets. How many
Okay.
pallets? How many were you talking?
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you have a loading dock, make
Yeah.
sure.
He's going to ask you that.
You better get
That'll
a
be the
pallet
first
jack or
question.
something.
That's the first question.
Yeah.
If you need someone to drive your forklift, hit me up.
I had to.
No, he says, do you have a lift gate?
Yeah, mine was like, drop it off at the end of my driveway because there ain't no way you're getting that truck up our fucking place. So they dropped it off for me, and I had to go down and scoot it up myself. But 100% worth it.
100%.
Yeah.
Everybody
100%.
we've introduced Bio365 to has gone on and ordered it. So, bio365.com.
First soil in space too. Don't forget.
Numbnutsco.com. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Numbnutsco.com. If you
pretty
enter
good. You don't
Done
wanna miss
Deal,
that
Oh, I forgot about this one.
you get 20% off all of their CBD infused peanut butter, their non-infused peanut butter,
Vinny's
their
missing out.
dog
Still need
peanut
to try
butter,
it.
and that tub right there, 1,000 milligrams of THC.
Wow.
If you're a medical patient.
Oh, these
You
guys
click-
are Boulder?
That's great.
Just click Find Your Nuts over in the top
they're-
right corner.
They're everywhere.
Okay.
So we'll get you some. I think we
Yeah.
have some here too. Just click Find Our Nuts.
That's right.
It's a favorite link.
And you can get the CBD products shipped
Katie
right to your
loves to
door.
click that link all the
you.
time, right, Katie? Joe's not here to punch me, right? Don't punch me, Joe. I love you. Get the cinnamon infused. Is amazing.
These products can be shipped to your door.
Absolutely
Get the
Cinnamon.
Done Deal.
Almond butter.
Infused.
Numbnutsco.com.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Cinnamon.
BreckenridgeOrganicTherapy.com.
You enter Done Deal.
I like them. Breckenridge Organic Therapy.
Go to their pre-order page.
That's
okay?
a great page.
Enter Done Deal at checkout. You get 10% off. While you're standing there waiting for them to fill your order, tell everybody in the waiting room so they
Everybody.
can go there too.
Be really
Tell everybody.
annoying and tell everybody. So, excuse me, I don't care what you're thinking and talk about. I'm telling you. Right
I'm
now.
telling you.
Telling you.
Get a deal.
It's
Deal.
a done deal.
Get a deal.
Yeah, Done Deal.
Done deal. Done. Yeah.
SunscapeLED.com.
If you are in process of buying LEDs, which is always you got to think of future. You got to future-proof your grow, right? You don't want to fucking go and buy a bunch of LEDs and be like, all right, who's the latest, hottest, greatest thing? This is an end-all product right here because it's a completely tunable LED. You can adjust every spectrum you want. You don't have to get like all hung up right now. Everybody's far red. Right? Oh yeah, I gotta get a far red one. Get a far red one, then you realize, oh, but now everybody is like, fuck that. We don't need that. We only use it for this amount per day anyway. So then you start changing up because now you're wasting a whole bunch of space by having that. So and extra power. But with this one, you can just like dial it and actually. You can look at any light and you can look at their whole range and just go in there and pretty much emulate it. Which is
Soon
awesome.
you will be able to probably take a tool or your iPhone out, hold it over someone's light. It'll tell you the spectrum and you can mimic it.
I'm sure you already could do that.
Yeah.
I have a
SunscapeLED.com.
Cool.
Good shit. And
Seeds here now.
Here now. Jane, do a deep voice. Go seeds.
Oh,
Do it.
guys, I worry about what's going to happen with these clips.
Seeds here now.
We're gonna make fun of you.
November is here, and we're
But we love
celebrating the
you when
holiday
we make
season.
fun of you. They made fun of me for the past 5 years
all
here.
we do
Get
here.
used to it.
That's all we do.
It means you're part of the family.
You're ruining my read, dude.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, AI.
November is here, and we're celebrating the holiday season with tons of incredible deals. Every order secures a free Frosty Blue OG Fem 1-pack. Plus, enjoy 25% off all DJ short seeds and blueberry flavored strains all month long. Don't miss our Veterans Day Bonanza 11/11, Black Friday Bash 11/25, Cyber Monday Madness 11/28, and Last Day Special 11/30.
You know what the coolest thing is? Doesn't sound like he's reading it all. No. So smooth.
You did good. You did good.
So smooth.
They gave you a couple of SS's, and you don't want those. You don't need those names.
No.
But check them out. Also, James Bean maybe will join. I don't know. We're gonna have a lively Patreon today because we got Landlady in the house. We got a special feature. I think I don't know. If we got it, it's ready to rock. We got a special feature coming from her from home, but from all the girls from the.
Oh, I got a video.
Did you? Lemon meringue.
Oh, yeah, I got a video of some
Strawberry
sort.
shortcake.
I previewed it.
Oh, yeah.
Are we talking about weed
You're going to
porn?
want to check out
No,
our
no
Patreon,
weed.
and I'll link it here. In a
You'll
little
see.
second.
Weed porn?
No,
What?
Yeah.
There's some weed porn.
Jane?
I thought maybe they were talking about pictures of plants.
No, we got that too.
But
Coming
we have
your
pictures
way.
of Adam in front of his garden.
We got plants. We got
Topless.
crazy. Yeah, definitely the plants are topless, 100%. But
So,
and that's the last one, right?
well, actually, there is one more. AdamDunnShow.com. Show merch.
Don't forget about it.
Merch. I almost bought one.
Almost.
I really did.
You need to buy
I know, I couldn't
$55
decide,
worth.
How close
and
were
then
you?
I wanted a
How
pink
close?
one,
How
and I was
close? You're like,
"Oh,
no, they don't have the color size combo.
You know.
You figured out the one combo we didn't have, even though it
I
has every combo possible.
I really wanted the baseball tee.
Oh yeah, the baseball
And
tee.
then
That seems to be the
it
most
was-
obvious,
yeah.
right?
It does kind of.
Because then you can pretend it's the other Adam Dunn. Dun-dun-dun, right? You'd be like, baseball Adam Dunn or stoner Adam Dunn? We don't know which one.
Baseball
That guy
stoner.
does pop up. That's the other guy.
The other
Well,
guy.
it's
Yeah.
Dunn.
He's way more.
I don't even know.
As soon as we get new era fitted ball caps, I'll get one.
So that's
So if you're going to be in Las Vegas for MJ BizCon, please let us know. If you're going to be throwing a party or an event, we'd love to get
Legal
you in
or
touch
not.
with YoTips to hand out some YoTips at your
Underground,
party.
hopefully.
Okay, I mean,
Hopefully.
if you're going to be having sharing there, you might as well have YoTips there too.
It's cool though. It's
Yeah.
almost like back in the day when we used to go to like raves and stuff, where it was just like that's all you wanted to go to anyway. You didn't want to go to the real clubs, you know, those places. suck.
Right.
You go through the security and everybody's a bunch of douchebags, right? And then you go
Right.
to the rave and it's like, and you're like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever.
Drums and bass, drums
And
and
it's the
bass.
cheapest fucking. And then you
No
go and
Grateful
then
Dead.
the lights come on. You're like, really? We've been in this fucking warehouse. Oh my
Yeah.
god! You're like, oh my god, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
But in the moment, it was the greatest thing ever, right? Whereas
Totally.
the other place is the complete opposite. You go in, and it's all glitzy and nice, and
The
it
thing
feels
is-
horrible. And you walk
Glitzy
in-
and nice.
Yeah, and you're like,
Not
let's
us.
get out of here.
Jane, grab a bagel before you go, please.
You
Oh,
always
no,
have the
hang out
best
with
Stay with us through
bagels,
Patreon
yeah.
because it gets just totally crazy, and we have
Nuts.
enough drops to have you.
We can just pretend
in
you're here. We can
perpetuity.
pretend you're here.
I should
Yeah.
go soonish.
We can pretend you're here and use
I
all
don't
the
know what
drops.
time it is.
Exactly. It's 7.
It's like a casino.
I actually think you went till 7:10. I thought I was like, oh, they always.
Yeah, it's 7:18, but we started 10 minutes late, so
We went long.
You're fine. You're
No
all
problem.
fine.
Thank
It's
you,
all
bro.
good.
come join
coming
us.
through.
Thank you, Nick.
And don't mess with Cheech and Chong.
No, don't ever mess with Cheech and Chong, and don't mess with the people who have put
No,
their time and
yeah.
energy into this plan. And we're all in just want to
Definitely.
get together.
And if
get
the
high,
people
no?
we were talking about earlier happen to get a copy of this show or watch it, it is an open invitation for you to come down and talk.
Oh, we'll do
right?
a
We
part
can
two.
have a dialogue.
We'll do a part 2. No problem.
Absolutely.
We have
There
a-
is still room to dialogue, okay? There has to be. I've been in this industry way too long to let something like this be the reason to divide us. They win when we're divided. Lewis Black said it best. There are 2 political parties in this country, okay? One has ideas, the other has bad ideas. One side says, I have an idea, and the other side says, I can make it worse. So, we don't need to do that. Let's work together to make it a better industry for us all.
Dun-dun-dun. Oh
Agreed.
yeah, and we didn't. Where's Vinny in the
Agreed.
drops?
Yeah.
Come on, Vinny.
Vinny with a
He's
violin.
He's leaving us. He's leaving
All
us.
right, Dave, this is your first prostate
I have one
exam,
thing.
so just relax and try not to get an erection.
Before.
What do you mean? My
before
name's Steve. Oh, I know. My name's Dave.
Good drop. Good drop.
Good one.
All right, we'll see you guys on Patreon, man.
Wait,
Peace
Jay,
out.
Can I
that's all
say
to say.
one
The
thing
Turp
that I forgot
Whisperer
to
will be
say?
over there too. We forgot about the Turp
Yes.
Whisperer. He's hanging on the sidelines. But he's going
important.
to be hanging out, checking us on Patreon. Peace
Yeah,
out.
Patreon.
And shout out to Ben also from House of Dankness.
He'll be on Patreon.
He's going to
too.
be on Patreon. He's going to be crazy over here. Cray.
I'm smoking all
Jane,
that
what did
super
you want to
booth.
say?
You're gonna
I wanted to
That's it. Okay, good night.
Oh, whoa.
no, because I want you to play it before you go to MJ BizCon.
What are we doing?
Okay, so if you are going to MJ BizCon and you are on the conference floor, you absolutely should visit the 40 Tons brand, and they're going to be a centerpiece there. And so I just wanted to mention that and make sure because
You know, they've been on the show.
Okay, great, awesome. And well, no, they really well. I wanted to make sure you guys get connected. So
No, 40 Tons brand has been on our show.
awesome. That is so great. Yeah, but I just wanted to make sure you guys were connected because what they're doing is pretty cool, and you guys are all going to be there, so you should definitely go by.
For sure.
And make sure your audience knows about it.
They know now.
Now
Yeah.
they do.
Hey.
See you guys on Patreon. Peace
Yes.
out. Thanks,
Peace.
Jane. Thanks,
Nick.
Nick.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, MTI and Vinny, wherever you are eating barbecue.
Bye-bye.
Practically every one of the top 40 records being played on every radio station in the United States is a communication to the children to take a trip, to cop out, to groove. The psychedelic jackets on the record albums have their own.
This is a special question. We don't want you to smoke genetically modified ganja. We want you to smoke the real thing.
Me?
Want you to smoke the natural herb.
Sweet.
Some call it marijuana.
Sweet.
Some call it sesame.
Sweet.
Some call it lamb's bread.
The tea.
And some people call it